Blue Jays, it'll be George Kirby and Shane Bieber. The starters, the Mets said to be hiring Kai Correa as their new bench coach. The Rangers lost and were shut out at home again. Lost to the Oilers 2-0. Head coach Mike Sullivan, though, pleased with the effort.
We're controlling play. We're controlling territory. We're limiting shots and scoring chances. We're generating a fair amount on our own at the other end of the rink. I think when you look at, our power play, 5-on-5, some of our most talented guys are getting really good, high-quality looks, and the puck hasn't gone in the net.
Just have to find the back of the net. The Rangers will be in Toronto on Thursday night. This report brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager in President, New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Also brought to you by Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit the Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. It's 60 in Central Park. That's what's happening. And Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
A big matchup in Week 7 with the Giants and the Broncos, and see if maybe the Jets could get in the win column for the first time this year. Some coaching changes seem to be happening with both of our baseball teams, BT, and it's no surprise that you have, both sides, and really with the Mets making the hire of the bench coach here. To me, it's not what I would want, and it just shows you. It's almost like I'm waving the white flag. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't matter who the coaches are, who the bench coaches are. Let the players go do it, because we know what these are. These are analytical moves. They are extensions of the front office, and really they should be largely insignificant.
I usually don't care who's coaching first or third base, or who's hitting fungos, or who's the outfield coordinator, or the roving minor league instructor. I'm kind of with you there, because it's so driven by numbers. This strikes me different for the Mets here. I really believe that this is now Stearns putting his fingerprints more on the franchise, and this is a direct shot or a direct message to Mendoza. If Mendoza stumbles early, Kai Correa will be the manager. They have no connection. Correa is about 10 years younger, didn't play in the minors, didn't coach together. He comes from multiple different organizations, and the way the season went down last year for the Mets here, the entire staff has been overhauled. So the next guy to go, whether it's right or wrong, unfair or not, the next guy to go is going to be Mendoza. And Stearns now has brought in his guy. If the Mets don't play crisply, whether it's April, May, or however, whatever that finish line would be for them to make the determination it's time to make a move, Correa would be the new manager.
But Mendoza's Stearns' guy as well. So I don't think Stearns is looking to get rid of Mendoza. I think that, Mendy is his guy, and he does believe in him. Now, I hate the idea that you would hire a manager and force upon him a coach that he's never worked with before. Like that.
Well, you were big on that before this happened.
It just doesn't make sense. That's why. But I wave the white flag. I give up. I give up because they're never going to get it. The Yankees aren't going to get it with their data and their analytics and not having a feel for it. They think what we think is stupid. And by the way, even if you fired Boone, let's just say hypothetically, I know we'll keep it to the Mets here.
Yep.
If they fired Boone, he's an extension of the front office. So what do you think would happen? You have to get rid of the whole thing and then have somebody with a new philosophy come in. So it's not just the manager. Same thing with Mendoza. What do you think would happen if the Mets fire Mendoza and Kai Correa takes over? Kai Correa? Like, that's who you want to manage the New York Mets?
Not even the Correa you want most. You'd rather have Carlos Correa batting somewhere behind Soto.
At least this one's cheaper, Kai Correa. And by the way, he's done some nice things. I was talking about it yesterday with baseball.
Who knows what Kai Correa's done? Bench coach, whatever.
I wouldn't know him if he fell out of a tree onto my lap or whatever the saying is. I have no idea. I wouldn't know anything about him. But Hannah Kaiser, who I work with on Baseball Night in New York, said that he was good with the defense, alignment, whatever.
With the Guardians. He was doing the defense.
Yeah. Okay, great. Like, to me, that's great. Oh, they're going to hire a new hitting coach. Yeah, that's great. You know what I'd rather see? Get some good hitters. You want to improve defense? Get Nimmo out of the outfield. Get Pete off of first base. Get a younger, better defensive shortstop. Get an actual center fielder. Like, that to me is how you improve defensively. Not, what is Kai Correa going to push some buttons and magically make the Mets better defensively?
No. How do you even judge how well you position somebody? So what'd you say? She said that he's renowned for...
Well, whatever he did it well with the... I think it was with the Phillies.
Was it the Guardians from a defensive coordination, and then 3 years on the bench for the Giants for a couple of years?
For the Giants, okay, yeah.
So just to be clear, this is not me saying that, Kai Correa is going to elevate the Mets. I mean, he might have literally a neutral impact or even a negative impact on the Mets. I mean, it can go either way. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, and luckily for you and other Met fans, the good players, they're coming. But before you get to free agency, you've got to solidify the staff. And listen, to me, the concept of allowing somebody to bring in people that they value, that they want to work in, like Mendoza with Gibbons.
Right.
You give somebody that latitude when you first bring them in. I think you stop giving them that room when you're not sure if they're the guy for the job. And that's what I'm saying. I can't prove this. I strongly believe that even if it was the smallest level, that the Mets thought about firing Mendoza, whether it's right or wrong. When you clean out the entire staff, including a pitching coach who's been revered, he's been here for a long time,
right,
but has been revered, and the only guy that's left standing is the first base coach, who's amazing.
And you can't move on from him.
And he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Mendoza, they're telling you without telling you that they don't believe in Mendoza enough to give him the juice to hire his new staff. They're doing it for him, and they're doing it for him with somebody that they believe can take the reins from Mendoza if they have to fire Mendoza. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and I just can't get behind that. I'm sorry, because I don't think it's putting somebody in a position to succeed. I'll say it again, I don't think that the Mets and David Stearns want to fire Carlos Mendoza. I do agree with you that there at least had to be some thought about it, because you wouldn't just fire the entire staff.
Exactly.
And be like, everything's, good. And I do believe that they believe in him, but it is with a very short leash. Like, all right, you better get this thing fixed. And maybe there are deeper issues that we're not privy to, that were going on, like that they think, well, this is on the manager to help clean up. Whatever it may be, use your imagination, figure it out. I mean, a team with that much talent shouldn't have 83 wins. I don't care what anybody says. It's unacceptable. So you can blame the pitching all you want. There was more to it than just that, because look at the Cincinnati Reds roster. They won 83 games and made the playoffs over a tiebreaker over the Mets. So even with the pitching, the Mets still should have been better what they were. And they were one of the worst teams in baseball since June 13th on. That's more than just not having some starting pitching. So I do think that there was more to it. And maybe they're holding the Mendoza's feet to the fire a little bit. I just don't understand why you wouldn't, if you truly believed in the manager, why wouldn't you want him to pick the people he wants to surround himself with? I'm not saying that he doesn't like Kai Correa. I have no idea, but he doesn't know him.
Well, that's the point. They're shoving him down his throat. Now, ideally, I would like my manager to pick his guys, but that's why the way I frame it, Sal, think about what I said to start the show. They are doing this for him because they don't have that full conviction.
But front offices do this now.
Mendoza's. I agree with that.
I hate that the sport has come.
But they didn't do that to Mendoza when he first started. There was full, hey, this is your show.
Really. I mean, because he had a lot of the holdovers.
Not the pitching coach, but I'm talking about the bench coach, like Gibbons, right?
Yeah.
Gibbons was brought in by Mendoza.
I don't even know if that was his number one choice. Now, again, I don't know this. We could actually get people on who have reported on this and would know. I don't believe Gibbons was the first choice of Mendy. I think he knew him and there was familiarity there. I don't think it was a...
Okay. Even if it wasn't his first choice and whatever degree of familiarity was or wasn't there, and you and I both believe it was there, I think we both know it's not here now, which is the point. Like, you think about this, Sal, and whether it's unfair to Mendoza, which I don't think it is. I think it maybe would have been unfair if they fired him. One really good year, one catastrophe based on the expectations. Let's use the third year to split the difference. That was my mindset the day after the Mets season ended. But right now, common sense, forget about all the emotion, the opinions, the money, and the soda and the Lindor. Forget about that. Just use faceless names and a faceless team. Incredibly disappointing season. The entire coaching staff is fired. A $400 million investment to win a championship. And the manager's brought back. But here's a coach from two different organizations who has no connection to the manager, who really floundered a year ago. What do you think that's saying? That's saying exactly what I'm telling you. It's saying if they start out 9-20, Mendoza's gone. Correa's the manager.
Well, all right, let me play devil's advocate for a second, because I'm just going to disagree in that. By the way, you might be right. I'm going to disagree and give the Mets, and maybe I shouldn't do this, the benefit of the doubt, saying that they're not hiring a bench coach with the thought process of, we're looking to get Mendy out, and then he could just slide in and take over. If you're doing that, you've got no shot. That's already set up to fail. You can't do that. It would be any organization, anything. Well, we're going to hire this guy, but we kind of think he might not be it, and we'll hire the guy behind him just in case. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You hired Mendoza, you should believe in him to the point where if you truly did believe in him, you would let him say, here's what I need around me to be successful. The problem is Major League Baseball front offices, the majority of them, if not all of them, don't believe that that's the best way. I believe it's the best way. They don't. So David Stearns may believe that this is the best way, seeing somebody in Kai Correa that he believes to be an asset to his organization because of his intelligence, because of his defensive skill, whatever it may be. He's looking at him as an asset. Okay, how can we bring this asset into the organization? Where can we put him to try to make us better? That to me is an analytical approach of, okay, Kai Correa may be a useful piece to an organization, but is that really what you want for your manager to have as his bench coach without having any familiarity? That's where I push back and say no.
And by the way, it's not ideal. I'm with you on that. But that's independent of what I think the Mets are thinking. Now, you said something that's very important here earlier. Mendoza Stearns' guy. That's the first real move that he made, right, when he came here for the Brewers. So
yes,
he wants to see him succeed. And use the term thread the needle. I also know that he's smart enough that he knows he's got to thread the needle just in case. Because, Sal, it wasn't just that. And there were pitching issues. And I'm not saying it was all Mendoza's fault. A lot of injuries. There were some circumstances. But there was something off about the 2025 Mets. I know that the 2024 chemistry with Iglesias and some of the guys, JD Martinez, all right, that was unique. And they bottled that and it worked. They almost got to the World Series. And they overachieved in large part. And you respect that. But last year, there was a dullness. There was a lack of, I use the word character at times, but if that's too strong for some, definitely a lack of cohesion and connectivity. So I think when you identify that, which the Mets had to, because Stearns is not a dummy, neither is Cohen, you've got to have a succession plan lined up. And I believe that this is it. And think about it. Stearns is young, right? He's a young guy. He's a young executive. And the days of, Don Zimmer and these other baseball lifers sitting in the coach's office, having bourbons until 2 a.m.
You're talking to scouts.
Exactly. Or smoking 13 cigarettes in the tunnel in between pitching changes. It's over. So Stearns is young. Kai Correa is young. The Mets, I'm not saying it's perfect, but to me, this is what they're thinking. That's their plan.
BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. The other part of this, where Brad Ausmus was hired with the Yankees to be the bench coach, there was some thought to what you're saying now about Kai Correa being like, well, things go wrong. Ausmus has managerial experience, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out that they really just hired Ausmus to be the bench coach for Aaron Boone, thinking that he was an asset. So I'm hoping that was the case. But even if that is the case, it's still not good enough for me.
Well, think about this. The addition of Ausmus, who's former manager, as we know, the way the Yankees treat their managerial spot is very different than the way Cohen's Mets treat it.
Right.
They whacked Buck quick.
Right.
Like, Buck had a tremendous first year, then things went sideways. Next.
Well, there's been multiple GMs. Yes, to your point, what I mean? Yes.
So there's been more turnover, more volatility, whereas then sometimes to our chagrin, the patience with the Yankees is a problem. So, in the 5 years that Cohen's in the 5 years he's owned the Mets, he has told us, I'm not standing pat. If things aren't met at the level that I think that they should be met, I have no problem making changes. Hal has not done that.
Brad is calling from Mineola. What's up, Brad?
Hey, bud.
All right, gentlemen. I thought we were done with the Mets, but here we are.
We're just getting started.
The winter's just started.
We're just getting started. I know, because we got nothing really else to talk about that's good. But with that being said, listen, let me make this clear. I love Mendy. I do. But just like similar to what's going on with the Yankees, everybody talking about Boone, blah, blah, blah. If the Mets are a win-now team, the Mets should be getting a win-now manager. And there's only one guy out there right now that's a win-now Hall of Fame guy like Tito Francona, and it's Bochy. And why not, if you are going to do something, because this Kai Correa guy I know nothing about, he made the Guardians do something this year. Great. Get Bochy. Bochy will change the character, the culture, and everything.
But Brad, hold on a second. Brad.
World Series.
Yeah, but you should have made this call yesterday because they're not bringing in Bochy because they wouldn't make Bochy absorb somebody like Kai Correa. If you bring in somebody, and I don't know the value of Kai Correa, so I'm certainly not going to downgrade him. And I know that you're not, but you like Kai Correa. What does he have? I don't know. He could actually be a really good asset. So I'm going to be open-minded here. But
I'm sure he might be.
Exactly.
It's not
Stearns is
about
no
him.
dummy. He's not bringing in some dope who's got some antiquated philosophies, whatever Correa is good at. And I don't really know yet.
Right.
I will find out, as will you. We'll do our homework on this. But I can promise you that it aligns with what Stearns values. Now, if you called, we did a lot of Giants yesterday, but if you called us at the end of the season or the day that Bochy got fired, hire Bochy, I would have been all for it because Bruce Bochy is a Hall of Famer with multiple teams, but it's not happening. You got your bench coach, and they would have allowed Bochy to bring in his own bench coach. So Bochy's not going to go. He's not managing the Mets this year, not to start.
Well, that's the point. Don't get it twisted. This is not about Kai Correa and that he's not good or this is a bad
Not
hire.
at all.
Nothing to do with that. Most of us have no idea with anything about Kai Correa. All I know is that I don't think it's the proper structure or setup. I wouldn't do that. And to your point about Bochy, and I know Evan talked about this. Was it yesterday with Boone?
Yeah, a lot of
the
Yankees
should hire Bochy.
He said they should fire him.
Fire
Straight
Boone
up said that.
Fire Boone and hire Bochy, whatever.
Yeah.
We, as baseball fans, me and UBT, the listeners, the majority of the listeners, we love the old school managers and that.
No doubt.
We will never, ever, ever let that go.
Yeah.
They, meaning the majority of people in baseball, don't. It is that simple. So we could yell and scream about it and hire Bochy, hire this guy, hire Buck, keep Buck. The Mets tried it a couple years ago, different regime. It's also 3-4 years later. It's just different. The days of Bochy or Ron Washington or you name it, Melvin, whoever it may be, it's over. It was hanging on by a thread anyway. And now I think that's it. You're just not going to see it anymore. Maybe sometime in the future we'll actually hire managers to manage. It's the way of the game. It's all analytical driven right now, and I hate it.
It's not all, but it's too much, to your point. And think about this, Sal. The decision makers are getting younger and younger and younger.
Right.
So what do you think they're going to gravitate toward? The younger, analytically, numbers-oriented baseball person rather than a baseball lifer.
Right.
I'm with you.
Of course, we'd rather have the
give me
lifer.
Mattingly, give me Bochy, give me Melvin, give me Buck, give me, I don't know if I would want Ron Washington to be my manager, but yeah, we're cut from the same cloth. Stearns is not.
But even, correct. And it doesn't mean that he can't win, but that's why I can't get behind it. I mean, how about hiring some scouts and have them go out there and scout players?
Well, they have the scouts.
I don't think
their scout list, the Mets.
I don't believe as much as they need to be. And it's not just the Mets, it's in the game, but maybe the Mets need to do a little bit better than others. By the way, if you did hire Bochy, they would be telling him what to do.
Nah, well, that's why they're not hiring him, because they know that he wouldn't accept that.
That's the point. So in most front offices, and let's just use the Mets and Yankees, they're going to bring in a manager that they can control and tell what to do, which is why it's not going to be Bochy. And even if it is to give the fans a little piece of meat like Buck, they're still not going to let Buck fully manage the way that he wants to. It's going to be a collaboration with Buck and then Billy Epler talking about what we should do, analytics, here's what I suggest with the lineup. Buck says, no, I don't want to do that. Whatever it may be, then you're going to have a different type of confrontation.
Why do you think the Yankees bounced Girardi? Because he wasn't playing nice in the sandbox.
Bingo.
That's simple.
He didn't want to hear it. John is calling from St. Louis. What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Hey, good morning, guys. Before I get to the Correa point, I think the Mets already have their manager in waiting if they fire Mendoza. I think it's Carlos Beltran. And I think he would be the mix of the old school, but also he's connected with that front office and would listen to their input. So I think he's already on the staff.
Maybe.
But this Correa guy, I've just taken one look at him. I already know he's going to be an asset. With those satellite dishes coming out of the sides of his head, we're going to be able to hear the other team's pitch com, and he can relay that to the batter.
Oh, I haven't seen. What has he got? Big ears? You're making fun of his ears?
Does he really? Come on, man.
I mean, come on. Come on, that's not nice, John. Thanks for the call.
I was actually reading something. I shouldn't laugh.
He said that satellite dishes.
So he's.
That's not nice.
That's not nice, but it's funny. So he's saying that his ears are so big, he's going to hear the pitch com from the mound that just relay. Oh, man, that's actually.
I have big ears myself, so come on, you can't. Come on,
dude.
Who cares what he looks like? I couldn't care less. He's ultra analytical.
If that's the case, just bring back the what was the Gazoo from the from the Flintstones?
Yeah,
you didn't even watch the Flintstones, did you?
I'm familiar with Flintstones.
You got him?
Yeah.
With that big green alien that used to
the Great Gazoo?
The Great Gazoo.
Yeah.
He had big ears.
Yeah,
Martian ears. Bring him in.
He's ultra analytical, and that's what I hate. So I don't care how big or small his ears are. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care where he's from. I know you get into that. Like, is he from? Hey, he's from Brooklyn, BT. Oh, well, it changes everything.
Bring him in.
But he's ultra analytical, and that's something that I can't stand. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls. We come back. 888-808-1019.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM me today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due at sign, Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax tag 498, Dr. DMV.
Football season is Modelo season. If you're listening to this, it means you live and breathe Giants football. And you know what that makes you? A full-time fan, which means you deserve a Modelo. Reward your fandom with an ice-cold Modelo, an official cerveza of the New York Giants. Please drink responsibly.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where you can get a single line with everything you need. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Wellness isn't just what you do. It's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
Injured in an accident? You need help. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Lawyers that have built a legacy of victory over 5 decades, winning billions for their clients. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Call 1-800-624-8888 or visit injurylawyer.com.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on The Fan on this Wednesday morning. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Some Yankees news, BT. I just saw here. Anthony Volpe had his surgery, I guess.
Oh, he did?
Saw this from the Post. Let me just make sure I pull up the right thing here.
Yeah.
Volpe undergoes shoulder surgery after a rough season. This is according to the New York Post. Now, look, what does that mean? I mean, you hope the kid gets healthy, but you also hope the Yankees find a better alternative at shortstop next year going into the season, but maybe that could be a difference for Volpe. I have no idea at this point. It's been 3 years, so I don't want to hear about the shoulder being the primary reason for his inconsistencies or his failures, really, in his first 3 years.
I don't know that it would do much in the batter's box. Some of the throws, and we know he doesn't have. He's never had a rocket as an arm. He's never been a plus thrower, and he never will be. But there were some throws during that 5-6 week stretch where he was bouncing them. So maybe that crept in there. It is year 3, and we saw 2 full years with a healthy shoulder. He's got a long way to go from an offensive point of view. We know that for sure. The one thing that I did notice, and I don't know where it's going to go, quite frankly. I'm rooting for him. I don't know. I don't know if he's good enough to be an everyday starting shortstop on a team that's trying to win a World Series with the bat. I don't know. You can't get on base 27% of the time. I mean, it's ridiculously low. The one thing that I will say is, remember how the bat kept flying out of his hand, which was just weird. It happens once, okay, but it happened like 3 times. And also he had a lot of check swings. And
weird swings.
Strange swings. Which almost tells me, like, and I just remember going through, it's not the same comparison, I get it. But I remember right before I had my back surgery, when I first started having back pain, like, you almost anticipate a pain. So, like, when I was playing golf, I would, and then I would have all these wacky swings trying to avoid that pain shooting through my back. I don't know if it's the same for him, but he certainly wasn't healthy, but he's got a lot of work to do, and I have no doubt he's going to put the work in, but TBD. Who knows what happens at shortstop next year?
Yeah, also TBD with the coaching staffs for each of these teams. Obviously, Yankees, you saw that, Harkey moving on after being there forever as the bullpen coach, possible change with the hitting coach, with Rowan potentially being hired by Minnesota.
Saw that.
You got Luis Rojas being interviewed by the Orioles. So Booney could be the last man standing here with the Yankee staff, just like his former bench coach, Mendy, being the last man standing with the Mets as they now hire, some new guys here, Kai Correa specifically, to be the bench coach there. So changes galore as far as the coaching staffs go for each of these underperforming teams.
And let's hope they're both active when it comes to getting what really matters, which is better players in the next couple of months here.
Yeah, I know. But the thing that worries me is the same way that they put together a staff, the analytical mindset, that can lead to the same flaws in building a team. Maybe more so with the Mets than the Yankees. Although with the Yankees, it's there too, just to a different extent. Like, when I say maybe more with the Mets, it's because the Mets don't make the playoffs. With the Yankees, at least they make the playoffs every year, but there are still flaws, significant flaws with their roster.
I got you. And listen, we're going to get to these Met calls here. Obviously, Met fans want to jump in. But let me make this one point. This is less about the Yankees or the Mets, just an overall, a wider arching macro view on analytics. See, to me, and I do wish there was more gut. You know where I stand on that, and just more feel, and that's fine. It's not. It's 2025. It's not coming back. See, people rail on analytics, and I don't think that they're hitting the proper target. Analytics work when you have the right kind of players that are able to adhere to your analytical philosophy. And look at the Brewers. A lot of contact, a lot of speed, catch the baseball. Analytics works for them because they don't have 5 guys swinging out of their shoes trying to hit it 450 feet to the moon.
But they're getting their asses kicked by the Dodgers. So it works to a certain extent.
Understood.
Or same thing with the Blue Jays. Where they put the bat on the ball, like it could be the other way as well. And look at the Mariners pounding them into submission so far through the first 2 games. So, I don't think there is an exact way. But me personally, I would not be as married to the analytics as many teams are.
I get that, and I'm more with you than not. But if you have, and I'll go back to Volpe. Volpe is an incredibly low average, low on base young player who has shown basically zero growth. If you don't have an analytical, if you're not able to plot out an analytical path for him that matches his skill set, it's an incredible disservice to the player, and it's never going to work. Whereas somebody like Bellinger, who's got a different two-strike approach, it's more applicable. You're going to have more success.
Volpe's a great example because the Yankees, forget about offensively, defensively, like metrically, he's great. And they've been saying the same thing for years. And I'm not saying he wasn't good or Gold Glove worthy, whatever. Oh, IKF, how dare you question him? You know the analytics on that. Boone would say it himself.
About who? About IKF?
Yeah. Oh, their defensive shortstop. Oh, no, analytically, look at where he ranks, whatever. Boone was even saying that about their mistakes that they were making this year when they were running themselves into outs on the base pads and look at where we rank in the league. It's not as bad as you guys make it out to be and blah, blah, blah. Going based off of the analytics, like, I can't take it anymore with the analytics. I understand that information is important. You can also get information with your eyes and use your noodle as opposed to what's on the sheet of paper. Hey, if Kai Correa is an analytical guy, and that's what the Mets want to have on their bench next to Carlos Mendoza. Well, okay, analytics are what? Information that you're going to have on paper, computer, whatever it may be.
And by the way, everybody has access to the same analytics. Correct. It's how you apply it that's different.
Oh, okay, correct. So then what's the difference of Kai Correa or Joe Schmo, who also knows all the analytics? Like, you can come up with the information. Oh, I have it right here on this paper.
Right over there.
No, I'm not actually. I'm a little on edge today, and we'll get into that why in a little bit. But, this guy owns this guy. He's 6 for 9 in his last, last 2 games against him. We got to put him up in this spot. Like, yeah, everybody's got that same information.
Yeah.
So then why would I need to hire Kai Correa if I could also have Joe Schmo, the robot, the AI robot, printed out? Like, what's the difference?
Well, that's the most basic deployment of analytics.
Okay.
Let me keep
what about
it
even defensively? Same thing, yeah.
Okay, so I've watched. I think I've watched so much tape, so many YouTube games of Del Bard with my son when Volpe was at Del Bard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love that stuff, right? You look at his swing there. The player now. I do believe he was overdrafted based on the lack of arm strength and the inability to do some things in the box. I think it's fair to say he should not have been a first-round pick. They took it, whatever. Okay, hope it works out better than it has so far. But they took his swing at Del Barton. That's not the majors, I understand that, but you're playing some really high-level teams, and he's been on the international scene with Team USA. So he was a great hitter, but his swing was different. So the analytics applied to Volpe from a Yankee perspective was, we got to get a little launch, we got to chase the first pitch that we can drive in the air, and that's not the player they drafted. So I'm not making an excuse for Volpe. What I'm saying is, everybody knows 6 for 9, 2 for 3, lefty, righty splits, day, night, whatever. And that's the most. A 5-year-old knows
100 pitches, take him out.
Yeah, go to the bullpen. This guy reverse splits. What I'm talking about is having an analytical philosophy and either drafting the wrong player or applying it wrongly to the wrong person.
Ralph is calling from Manhattan about the Mets coaching changes. What's up, Ralph?
What up, Ralphie?
Hey, I came in on the Flintstones reference. Good job, guys. The great Gazoo. Never been said on WFAN. I guarantee that. But here's the thing. You've heard the phrase.
Wilma was hot, by the way. Wilma and
no doubt about it.
Was it bad?
You
don't think so?
I knew tired, man. You tell me a couple of cartoons were hot?
Oh, come on.
I'm not saying they're ugly.
Yeah,
but,
come on.
I guess back in the day, did the job.
Well, Wilma was not too shabby.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
If you're that hard up, I guess she's okay. But here's the thing about, you've heard the phrase, a captain goes down with his ship. Even if that ship happens to be the Titanic, which of course the Mets were this past year. And to a certain extent, when you fire everyone around the manager, guys, you emasculate the manager to a certain extent. You have him there, just trying to keep the ship afloat. And these guys are by the wayside. They're gone. I would, the way the manager has no autonomy these days, they have no power, nothing. I hear you say it all the time, Sal. Mm-hmm. They have no power. Why, if you're going to get rid of, you're going to clean house, why not get rid of everybody, and why leave the manager hanging in the wind, or to not deal with his own guys, his own staff, because then he has to start from square one. That's what's exactly going to happen in 2026.
Well, my thought process was that they actually believed in him, and thanks for the call, Ralph. So they're not going to fire him because he had one bad year. Stearns believes in Mendoza, and I do believe that that's the reality. However, from there, after you make the decision to fire all the other coaches, from there, if you truly do believe in him, you let him pick the guys that he wants. Now, he'll tell you probably when he speaks about this, whatever, oh, yeah, I love Kai Correa, and we met and had a great time. That's not what I'm talking about. Old school baseball is pick the guys that you want to be comfortable with, that you trust to help you. Whoever it may be, he may have a laundry list. Like Carlos Mendoza's been in baseball forever. He's a baseball guy. I mean, we know that about him. That's one of the reasons why even after initial, I was like, who's Mendoza, Boone's Lackey, whatever. But I like the idea of the hire because he was a baseball guy that worked his way up to get an opportunity. Matter of fact, he probably got an opportunity too late. You don't think he's got plenty of connections around baseball that he could hire people that he trusts and can help him, whether it's a difference in philosophy, whether it's a similar, whatever it may be. Yeah. I guarantee you he's got a list of people, and they don't let him do that because they want to bring in their guys, the analytical guys, and have an arranged marriage. And I don't think arranged marriages are good.
Of course I believe that he's got those contacts. I think that Mendy could open up his phone and probably reach out to 5, 10, or 15 people that he's got a rapport with and a trust and a similar baseball philosophy. I do. The problem is the Mets, at least the way I see it, the Mets don't believe in him enough to give him that full autonomy.
Well, then if that's the case, to Ralph's point, then they should have just fired him.
I don't disagree with that.
See, that's why,
if that's fair.
That's why I'm not sure what to believe 100%. I do believe that Stearns believes Mendy is the right guy. That's why we disagree on. I don't think this is a move to jettison or push a little bit Mendy out. I just think this is a flawed process in hiring a bench coach to go along with your manager or have the staff gets constructed. Linda is in Forest Hills. What's up, Linda?
Good morning, men. How are you?
Hey, Linda. How you doing?
Okay. As I told Pete when I called up, these hires are just analytically driven yes men. I believe, guys, when you have a guy like Mendoza who says in April, I don't chase wins in April, and then in August, when the team's already floundering, saying, well, the goal is to win the division. To me, that's mixed messaging right there, okay? Because you're talking out of both sides of your rear end. Are you not chasing wins in April, or is the goal to win the division? Well, because if you chased a couple wins in April, you probably would have gotten that game or two that you needed to get into the playoffs, okay? So that's my problem with Mendy. Analytically driven yes men, fine. Okay, it's obvious Stearns is building his coaching staff for longevity because, like you guys said, they're young hires. But again, my problem with this team from top down is the messaging. Okay, because if you're saying as a manager, Mendoza, you're saying that, what kind of message does that send to the players? Well, not only to the players but the fans. And the media is the conduit to the fans.
Yeah,
so,
no question. But Linda, and thank you for the call. Good stuff. The one thing about the fans, and you listen to two fans, even though we do this for a living, they don't care about us, and they never will. And the only way they'll ever react, I'm certainly not saying this from a Mets perspective, because the Met fans came out in droves this year, and the Mets had a lot of good players, whatever, even though they didn't win enough games. But if you're not happy, don't go. I think what's happened here, guys, you have to, and I said this to Sal at one point during the year, baseball, as much as the coaching staffs have evolved and the managers have had less and less power, undeniable. I think it's now a 3-part season. The first part is see what you have. Remember we talked about this?
Evaluation. Yes.
See what you have from an evaluation perspective. Next, go and get what you think that you need.
Right.
And then finally, become the best version of you for the final, 60-something games after the trade deadline. That's what the Yankees did when they made their moves. That's what the Mets did
I think a lot
when
of
they
teams
made their
do
moves.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
The NFL, they do it in the first 4 weeks of the season. Basically, it's an evaluation period to a certain extent. Baseball, it's the first couple of months, if not the first few months of the season is an evaluation period. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right, and by the way, I got to hear why you had a rough night last night. He was on the set shooting. He's a TV star all of a sudden, Sal. We got to get this story.
Should we say this morning?
We'll get that coming up. All right. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex, Total Ortho, it's got you covered. Locations throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey as well. No need to struggle with pain or injuries and get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com and schedule an appointment today. That's Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts, at getting you back to being you.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen made for your brain. Today's birthday shout-out goes to the Jackie Robinson of hockey. That would be Willie O'Ree. At a special 90th birthday celebration, his former minor league team, the San Diego Gulls, presented him with a gold-plated hockey stick inscribed with his pet phrase, "If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right." I love it. Happy birthday, Willie. I'm Boomer Esiason.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. #1, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, "David, that really worked so good." It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. With a $755 million investment in the expansion of a universal after-school program, allowing over 184,000 New York City students to participate. With better schools building brighter futures, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Talk New York sports on WFAN, 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS at Paramount Plus.
But I still like the song. Either way, 888-808-1019. We're talking baseball, hot stove, and all that stuff with the coaching changes. Can't wait to get to the fun part of this stuff with actual players. By the way, we'll have Andy Martino of SNY. He'll join us later just to shed some actual insight into this thing. I guarantee he could tell us how, Gibbons was hired, for example, last year, and then how Correa gets hired and who's into it, collaborative effort, whatever. Same thing with the Yankees changes. He was all over that yesterday as well. Now, you mentioned before, and we'll get back to the calls here in a second. Yeah, I was a little, on edge this morning.
And it's a good part. Checked in on you.
Yeah, you did check in on me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned yesterday I was going to do, for the first time ever, I've never done this before, go on set for a TV show, Gravesend. Yep. Will DeMeo, gave me the opportunity. I was like, 100%, man, I'll do it, whatever. Get the call time yesterday. I got it, a couple days before. I have no idea about this process. Radio, TV, I can tell you, I've been doing radio for 20 plus years. TV, 15 years. So I have an idea of how that works. This stuff, I have no idea. I watch TV. I watch movies and TV shows. I've never been on one or in one. So I have no idea, whatever. Wardrobe this, and I'm like, I don't know. One of the guys called me. He's like, well, what are you wearing? I'm like, well, not something from the 80s. Like, it's 2025. I was born
That's
in
your job. Where's wardrobe? Ain't mine.
All right. So anyway. So I get there around 9 o'clock. I'm there way early. I had to be there 9:30 to get ready, then on set at 10 o'clock.
The diligent actor that you are. Yeah, an hour beforehand.
Well,
make sure good.
I was
Did
working.
you go to the Rangers game?
I did not.
Okay.
Thank God.
I was like, what are you doing?
You're right. Hoff went. We could get into that later on. Did the Rangers go to the Rangers game?
Did they score a goal yet? Nope, not at all.
I don't think the Rangers showed up. So I went after baseball. I do the show here, do baseball night in New York, go get my car back in Harrison, drive to Brooklyn, which, by the way,
Almighty.
Exactly.
Were you on the Belt Parkway? Did you go underneath the Verrazano Bridge, you recall?
I think I went over it. You
would have come from, maybe going home you went over it. You would have gone under it coming in. Either way. You don't know Brooklyn well.
No, I drive down, I take it from Harrison. I'm going past Newark Airport. I'm like, where the hell am I going? All the way down.
Then you did go over. So you got on the Garden State. Okay, then you did.
Gothel's Bridge to the Verrazano, and then it was kind of right off of there.
Love the Verrazano. Favorite bridge in the world.
Anyway, this is already for me, Jesus.
What am I doing?
Yeah, okay. But I'm excited for it. Nervous, obviously. I get there, and I made two new friends. Jerry, who's a big listener of the fan and whatever. This guy, Jerry, who was playing a part where he was going to get killed, and I'm not going to say who he was or whatever. I can't get into that, but
rough ending for Jerry.
Him and his buddy Carlos. So I was talking like, at least I found somebody that like the three misfits. Like we have no idea what the hell we're doing. We don't know what this is about. We hang out there. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, 10 o'clock. We're supposed to go over to the set. We take the shuttle over to the set underneath the bridge. It was a cool thing. Cameras.
Saturday Night Fever. I told you about that. That's where they shot those scenes.
Hanging out. See Will. See everybody there. Makeup crew. There's a million people there. Whatever it may be. Okay. I'm like, wow. All right. This is all right. You get the trailers there where you go in and get dressed and wardrobe. 10:30 was lunch. So like we were there at 10:30 is lunch. They've been working all day just because we got there at 9. Whatever.
It's called the union.
So now I'm like, this might be going on a little bit later. And then it's, okay, we're back from lunch. We wrap it up, get there at 11 p.m. And then 12 p.m. And now in my mind, I'm like, first of all, I'm nervous because I've never done this before, and I'm rehearsing the lines in my head. Like, I don't want to screw this up. Cut, take, whatever. Action. Ooh, I don't know.
Right on the set.
Nervous, dressed up like somebody that I would never dress up like, whatever. All these different things. You got real actors there. I'm not a real actor. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then I'm looking at the clock, and it's 11 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. And I'm in my mind tacking on each hour because I know it's going to take an hour from me minimum, an hour to get home. And I got to get up in the morning, come do the show. Like I got my job here. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, are we doing this thing?
We doing this shit,
I'm
man.
not and the longer it goes, the more anxious I get.
No question. You get more and more. You overthink things.
Dude, I'm all in my mind.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Wow, man, that's brutal.
Then one of the guys
better be a good episode.
I'm like, dude, it's 3:30. And I wasn't complaining. I was just asking. I had no idea. Like, I asked one of the producers before. She's like, oh, yeah, maybe 3 to 5 hours. I'm like, all right, 10 o'clock, that's not great. Whatever. I committed to it. I'm going to do it. I'm a man of my word. He gave me the opportunity. Will did. I love the opportunity. Let's go. I'm ready for it. 3:30. And then I'm starting. 3:30 in the morning. Getting texts from you about the Cadillac at 11 p.m.
That's right.
Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, isn't this great? Back in the Cadillac.
I got my Cadillac, my Escalade IQ. Yeah. Things were easy for me.
My wife, my mother texted me, how's it going? Are you home yet? I
haven't started yet, Mom.
3:30. And then one of the crew members was like, I don't know if we're going to get to your scene. And at that point, I know.
That's the part.
But even at that point, I was like, what? I'm here. I signed in. I'll punch out. Just like, I'm ready. If that's the case, if we're not getting, I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is. It happens. It's nothing personal.
Show business.
They move around the scenes, move my scene back a little bit. Yeah. But then I started to think that it wasn't going to happen. And then all of a sudden, 4 o'clock, it's like, all right, we're going to do it. Let's go. And now I'm like, now the time doesn't matter. Now it's like, oh my God. What did I get myself into? I can't do this. And then I got the real actor coming up to me. It's like you always say with the caddy on the golf course.
Yep.
Well, you don't like the caddy because it adds a different element of pressure.
Unless it's Mike's caddy, Willie, who's the best caddy of all time. Willie's the man. Love Willie.
Yeah, he's the man.
Him we love.
Willie, we love. Other caddies. I
don't want to talk to him.
I'm so bad that I don't even care. Like, I need the help. Hey, which club should I use? Thank you. Where'd the ball go? Thank you. Like, it doesn't bring any pressure to me. In this particular case, when I have gone over my lines in my head.
Yeah.
And now the actor is like, hey, you should say it like this. Or I'm going to say it like this. And he's going off script. Now I'm like, well, wait a second. You're throwing me a curveball here. I can barely hit the heater down the middle.
Yeah.
I don't want any curves.
You felt like you knew all the lines by then. You were ready to do it.
I had the 3 lines rehearsed.
Yeah.
Now it was just a matter of how I was going to deliver it.
Sure. You do a couple versions. Yeah.
But now he's throwing a wrench in it. Then the wardrobe guy's like, maybe you should wear glasses and then take the glasses off for effect. I'm like, bro. Don't give me I don't even want to think about the glasses. Put them in the pot. Like, I have too much to think of. And then, so now we're sitting there on the bench and they're getting ready. And he's like, you're going to say this and I'm going to say this. And I'm like, And I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah.
All my confidence, whatever confidence I have that I've built up over the last 25 years doing radio and TV, gone. I'm a shell of myself. I'm dressed like somebody I don't recognize. There's people watching. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Like a pimp.
A real actor. Yeah.
You really did.
I showed you the little bit of picture.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, here we go. Rolling. And I swear to you, in the moment that he says rolling, I'm sitting there next to the other actor, not thinking about my lines. I'm thinking about, do I go? Am I waiting for action? Is that do I have to wait for action? Is that like a real thing? Is somebody going to say go?
You know, with TV, slap that little thing down.
Yeah. And then so I'm waiting. I'm awkwardly waiting. And then it's like, action. And then I go right to it. And then, of course, cut because it wasn't going to whatever. And then the guy's like, all right, after they give action, you got to give it a little breather. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know that. Like, I follow the rules. You got to tell them. And then we're doing it. And then, dude, like, as the more it went on and the more I'm in my head and the more I'm doing these lines, I flubbed one completely and just like muttered through. It was like, and it was embarrassing. You cut, and then they had to do it again. You know, whatever, 5, 6, 7 takes. At that point, everybody wants to go home.
Yeah.
All the pressure I'm feeling the pressure. It wasn't their fault. And Will said it was good, and he got what he wanted. I felt like I sucked, but whatever.
Well, we'll tell you if you did when we see the episode. We'll be honest with you, buddy.
Season 3,
Don't worry.
Graveshead. Stay tuned. And by the way, so then I'm like, all right, I'm done. We could go home. 4:45, I'm in the car. I get home at 5:45 in the morning. My wife was already up going, what the hell was that? What are you doing? What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep for a couple hours and go back to work. What do you mean? What am I going to do? I have no choice. Wow. Make sure Sammy doesn't wake me up. But before I left, Will DeMeo comes to me and goes, you know, you got another scene to do. I need you next week. I was like, well, I didn't know that was the case. So I'm in for more. I promise you this, I'll be better the second time. At least I know what to expect.
Now you know what to expect. Hopefully they're better the second time, not making you wait 6 hours. I know things happen, dude. I get it.
Yeah, it's not their fault. He did apologize. No.
They work their asses. There's union rules. I get it.
Everybody said, people were telling me, like, are you insane? 10 o'clock on set, you're not going to get done till 4.
I said that too.
That's what I'm saying. Even you said that. I'm naive. I didn't know.
You were, by the way, you were probably about 30 minutes away, even if remember you said you didn't know if they were going to do the scene?
Yeah.
The sun's going to be coming up at some point. And if it's a scene at night, well, then here come the roosters. You can't do the scene.
They were worried about the street sweepers at 4 a.m.
Yeah, they come at 4.
Otherwise, they would have probably gone to the... I know,
all in all, though, you got through it.
Yeah, I'm on 2 hours sleep, but I'm all right. We're here.
All right.
Take a nap at 2. All right, BT and Sal, the Fan, back to your calls, 888-808-1019. I do have some good news pertaining to my life, but I do have some... I think you'll be interested in it. Maybe the listeners...
They want the real actor on the show.
Something...
That's it.
The actual Brooklynite. Something did happen yesterday that does pertain to baseball and tie in a little bit. We'll get to that later on. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
It's been so many years since the Giants fans. This is just a fan thing. This isn't a team, with construction or anything like that, and performance. The fans can come to Giants Stadium and leave us that.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal, and I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair tire, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair tire.
Hey, New Yorkers! Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and 1 line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with AutoPay Mobile Plus discount and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios Internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
What you want, what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want me.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Game 3 of the ALCS picks up tonight in Seattle. The Mariners looking to go up 3-0 on the Blue Jays as they won the first 2 in Toronto. George Kirby facing Shane Bieber. Last night, the Dodgers took down the Brewers 5-1 as Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw the complete game a 3-hitter. Pat Murphy's team in an 0-2 hole heading to Los Angeles, well aware that his fans are feeling like this is it.
They're disappointed. You know, they think it's over probably. You know, 90% of the teams that are 0-2 at home don't come back, but I don't think it's over. I don't know why. I admire this team. I've said it all along. I like who they are. I know where they came from, and I don't think they'll be surprised if they come back and play really well.
You would think it would have to start tomorrow night, Game 3 in Los Angeles. The Mets hiring Kai Correa as their new bench coach. Jeff Albert will serve as the team's lead hitting coach. And the Rangers were shut out again on home ice. They lost to the Oilers 2-0. All 3 local hockey teams are off tonight. This report brought to you by Con Edison and by Paramus Chevrolet. 62 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The BT and Tal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We'll get back to the calls here. Mets coaching staff, analytics and baseball, all that stuff. Maybe working some football along the way as well. We'll have A.D. Martino later on in the show. 12:40, we'll have Martino on to bring some insight into what's going on in these coaching changes. One thing I will ask him, I just saw this, BT. So Jeff Albert, I'm sure you saw that yesterday, was the Mets hitting instructor, whatever he was, of the minor league system or their overall philosophy. He's been in the organization for a while.
Yep.
He has now been named the director of Major League Hitting.
Yeah,
does that mean
too many titles?
Yeah.
Man.
So does that mean he's the hitting coach or not? That's a question I gotta.
No, what I take that as, and what I took, and we'll get the answer with Andy. I'll be a good spot. But I took it as he will be overseeing whomever the actual hitting coach is. But I could be wrong.
Okay, but
I don't know what they're doing. Just here's the T. Stay inside the ball and hit it where it's pitched.
Good God. See the ball, hit the ball. What do you need two guys to tell you to do that?
What's his title again? Director of Organizational Hitting?
So you're telling me, and again, I don't know this, I'm assuming you're right. They just went over this where they had two guys, and Chavez ripped it on the way out, saying the one thing you never do again is have two hitting coaches. You have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. You have two hitting coaches, you don't have, who are you supposed to listen to? This guy, that guy. I like this guy better, I'll go with him. Jeff Albert is the Mets director of Major League Hitting. What the hell does that even mean? Director of Major League Hitting?
Yeah, it's not even organizational, which would entail the minors, which would make a little bit more sense the way I described it. Again, I could be totally wrong, but unless they're just trying to church it up, and that's the new name for hitting coach, which is idiotic.
Is he going to be in uniform?
I would take it as no. I would take it as overseeing, digitally and all the other things they do leading up to the hitting meetings, etc. I think you'll have a hitting coach in uniform on the bench, and this guy will be kind of wherever he is, overseeing it in non-uniform.
Director of Major League Hitting. First of all, let me give Jeff some advice here. Stay away from Juan Soto! You can do anything else. Don't touch Soto. Don't talk about his approach. Don't even look at him. Leave Soto alone. The other thing is,
I think he's got to overhaul Soto here completely.
Yeah, get that out of here.
How about 30 or 40 drag bunts a year?
Can you imagine?
A couple of push bunts.
Can you imagine yourself for a second? You're Juan Soto. You've got the world by the you-know-what. You're one of the game's best offensive players. I mean, you could put Aaron Judge in this case too, but it actually happened with Soto, according to what Chavez said. You got $765 million. You've won a World Series. At the age of 19, you dominated the postseason. You've had the biggest at-bats on the biggest stages. You dominated your first year in New York, even with an up-and-down start to the year. And you've got Eric Chavez or whoever, Jeff Albert. You're like, you know what I think, Juan?
You know what I think, Juan?
You should
Let's try this, buddy.
Yeah, I'd look at him and be like, what? You know who you're talking to? Go talk to Vientos. You see what I do? Look at this. Look at these muscles here. Look at my numbers. Think about that. Is there a hitting coach alive or a hitting instructor or director that would ever tell Aaron Judge what to do? Come on.
No, I don't think it's so much I would hope not. The actual mechanics of the swing as much as it is maybe more of an approach mentally. I don't know. Being more aggressive early, which I think is what they wanted Juan to do, right? They thought about having him be more aggressive early in the count.
Yeah, but again, dude, leave him alone. The idea of batting him leadoff, all right, you want to bring that up to Mendy, I guess, but just leave Soto alone. Anyway, my point is, even if it's not about
Alvarez,
Soto,
that's the kid. You can't lock yourself in a lab with him.
Well, there are a million things to do, and also these are major league hitters. What exactly does a director of Major League Hitting do? What is he doing? I miss the old days where the hitting coach would be like, "Come on, son." Suck it up and get, you maybe use some different word. Suck it up and get out there, rub some dirt on your hands, go play.
Yeah, but that's if you're hurt, not if you have a flaw in your swing.
Whatever, maybe grab the bat, hold the bat.
Let's do some soft toss and figure it out. Come on.
Whatever, play a little pepper.
I love pepper. Pepper's fun. Pepper's fun.
Good God.
It's a different world, man. We can poo-poo it, which we do. We understand it. I do think whether it's this situation or others, I think that they overcomplicate the game.
Bingo. And a director of Major League Hitting seems to be a little complicated to me.
And it's a hard enough sport without the overcomplications.
So the Mets continue to prove that over and over. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Rob is calling from Tom's River. What's up, Rob?
What's up, gentlemen? Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's going on?
You guys are great. Couple things I want to get to. So, BT, I want to get to something you said about how the season's kind of separated into three parts.
Yeah.
And that third part this year, Mendoza just absolutely threw up all over, which I just don't get because maybe it was an expectations thing, but in 2024, we love the guy. He's pressing all the right buttons. And in 2025, he just overmanaged the bullpen. He was terrible here. He was terrible there. I don't get how Kai Correa fixes that problem. And, maybe I know nothing about the guy. You know what I mean? And, I'm not going to bash the hire.
Sure.
I don't love the hire. I don't hate the hire. But when there are guys out there, like new age baseball guys, David Ross, Carlos Beltran out there, who can be that bench coach to get in Mendoza's ear and say, I don't like the move you're about to make here. Or maybe you're not seeing it this way. I don't see how Kai Correa is that guy. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I'm just waiting to see. I don't know. And I know that you're not impugning his baseball intellect. I get it. You just ask the question, how is somebody who's 37 and never played in the majors? He didn't really play a lot in college. I was trying to dig into his background. He played at, if I had it right, and I think it took a while to find because he didn't play a lot, somewhere in the state of Washington, a smaller school. I only played for a year or two, whatever. Not that means you're going to be a great or bad coach. I'm not going to say he can't get the job done, but there's not a lot of evidence that he knows more than some of these other guys who have been around the game forever.
Okay, two things. Number one, Dennis and Yonkers, longtime caller here. I texted him quite a bit. He's a diehard San Francisco Giants fan.
Yep.
He texted me, Kai Correa was Kapler's first lieutenant of analytics. Gabe Kapler.
Yep.
Okay, first lieutenant of analytics. He didn't apply the metrics. He's married to them. Quote, ultra analytical. So that just gives you some insight right there. We knew he was analytical. Dennis saying he's ultra analytical, and Dennis knows what he's talking about as it pertains to that. The other part that our caller brought up, see, you said that the hiring of Kai Correa was kind of the first maybe nudge in the direction of getting Mendoza
It's a warning
out.
shot.
I think if they hired Beltran to be the bench coach, that would have been, he's the manager in waiting. So potentially, and I don't think that Kai Correa was that, so that's where we disagree. But maybe there's a situation where if Mendoza doesn't get it going, they do just go to Beltran. He's in the organization, knows what he's talking about, was hired to be the manager years ago, has the feel with the players, all those different things, and still just keep Kai Correa, who they probably view as an asset because of all the analytical stuff that he brings to the table.
Listen, whether it's Beltran moving into Mendoza's seat if he gets fired or Correa, the point is Mendoza's on thin ice. That's what I take away. When you have a season, had a rough year, very disappointing, and they're going to reboot, and they're going to spend some money, get some pitching. Mets should be thought to be one of the better teams coming in next year, and anything less than being fairly dominant is unacceptable, and if there's not dominance early, he's getting fired. So I do think, and listen, we could both be kind of right here where I believe it's the warning shot without a doubt for me, and we'll get the answer from Andy in a little bit. I believe that's what they're doing. But also, it doesn't necessarily, I could be wrong in it being Correa, because it could be, all right, Carlos, you're in the organization. You come step in for Mendy, and Correa stays in the role that we hired him to be in originally.
BT and Sal on the fan. Hoff was just telling me in my ear that tomorrow, I guess, finally we're going to get the Yankees year-end press conference.
Hey!
Who is it,
Go.
Hoff? It's Cashman and Boone, or just Cashman?
Boone at 12, and then Cashman will go right after.
Can we take that live tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we love take that live.
My guess,
if we're allowed.
Flip a coin.
I'd
we'll figure it out.
So Boone at noon and Cashman right after.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because this is always fun.
Cashman will take it from 1 to 2. You know that.
I mean, he's very wordy. Now, he doesn't shy away from stuff either.
He's very transparent. I love it.
Me too. I mean, I wish I had more. The Knicks don't say a word. A lot of franchises, he's incredibly transparent. So what do you need to hear from, forget about Boone for a sec.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear from Cash tomorrow?
That's a great question. I mean, I guess I really haven't thought that much about it. What I expect and what I want to hear are two different things.
Okay.
Because the problem is not hearing from them. Cashman says to me, he's transparent. He's open and honest. My issue is not with him holding things back or pulling any punches. My issue is that I don't agree with what he says. So he's probably going to defend Volpe. I mean, what is he going to do? Come out and say, we need to get a new shortstop? He's not going to say that.
No.
That would be, I'd like to hear him again address the lack of development with the young position players, because that has been another thing. Even if it's not Volpe, it was also Dominguez. I'd like to hear him talk about the construction of the team when you have, 5 DHs, maybe respond to what A-Rod said. Doesn't have to be directly to A-Rod, but Cashman, he's not afraid. He'll go back at A-Rod. Mm-hmm. He might even say it unprovoked. He might have something planned here. And for those people who say that we have 5 DHs, blah, 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 I wouldn't put that past Cashman.
I'd like to hear it.
So I'd like to hear things like that, but I don't know, what is he going to change? He's the change has to come from them moving on from him, not him changing anything. Like, it's been too many years,
It's been 27,
So
I want to say.
Is there something you want to hear in particular?
I would like to hear some public pressure applied to Volpe. And that is not railroading the kid. He's never going to do that. Think about the exchange he had. Was that with Sherman? Yeah, with Sherman a year ago. Like, that was pretty combative. Like, he basically said, you're wrong. I'm right. Volpe's going to be fantastic. Well, he regressed even more. Okay.
Sherman was right. Cashman was right.
No question about it. So far, yes, advantage Sherman, disadvantage GM of the Yankees. So I think if he's anything but transparent with Volpe's future, I think that's a bad play. I think it's the wrong move. Don't treat us as idiots. I mean, you get on base 27% of the time. You have to at least say, hey, he's going to have to earn a spot next year. I do need to hear that.
You know one thing I don't want to hear?
What?
I don't want to hear, well, we built a team that won 94 games and lost the division on a tiebreaker. And if the tiebreaker went the other way, we win one more game, maybe the postseason shakes out a little differently. I don't want to
I don't want to hear that either. That means nothing to me.
I don't want to hear the crapshoot argument. What I want to hear, and Boone said this, and you give him credit for it, the Blue Jays kicked our ass and they were better than us. We need to figure out a way to get better. We're the Yankees. We should be better than everybody else.
The other thing that I don't necessarily need to hear, but I can promise you he's going to say this because it's a softer landing, he's going to point to next year. Hey, guys, by the way, we got Garrett Cole coming back, in addition to now Max Fried and Schlittler and, of course, Rodon. And the thing about it's funny because it is really a stark contrast. The position players outside of Judge, they don't develop them. We've complained about this for years. Now, Louis Heel took a step back this year, injured, didn't pitch that well, especially against Toronto. But Louis Heel last year was the American League Rookie of the Year. This year, Schlittler threw one of the best Yankee playoff games I've ever seen. You know, Will
Followed
Warren
up with a good one as well. It wasn't just a one-off.
he was solid. Didn't have his strikeouts up, but he gave a chance to win. You know, Clark Schmidt is solid. Back of the road to Tommy John. Will Warren had, I think, the second most strikeouts for a rookie. So he can always see that's his escape hatch. When people like you and me come at him for the position stuff, and we're right, and they have to know that, even if they deflect it, he can then quickly deflect to the pitchers that they develop.
Hoff, what do you want to hear from Cashman?
There's only one thing I want to hear: if they regret the facial hair policy for a player that is not going to return next year.
You know, I forgot about that facial hair policy. It's such a big deal early on.
I don't think it's a fait accompli that he's out. I think Devin Williams could come back. Now
he was good.
I'm not giving him big money, and I'm not even sure. I'm not going to make him the player. The closer, it's Bednar, who's under contract as well. If Devin Williams starts to feel comfortable and wants to come in, whether maybe you win the closer's job or you start as a setup man, I'd give a few bucks. I trust him in the 8th spot for the most part.
Joey Clams is in Brooklyn. What's up, Joey Clams? Joey
Clammy.
Okay, Joey Clams is maybe not in Brooklyn. Tommy is calling from Middle Village. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, guys. Good morning. How you doing?
What's up, Tom?
Hey, you know, I don't know much about Korea, but I think like as you said, BT, you know, Mendoza is walking on a very thin ice right now, and you know, I think in essence it was just a
It's okay.
A protection move.
Yep.
Because first, I think Beltran would not be a bench coach first. Second, you know what this eerily reminds me of? The Jerry Manuel, Willie Randolph situation. Well, Willie already knew that Manuel was going to take over. And it was very uncomfortable watching them, you know, playing, especially on the same bench. Do you guys recall that at all?
But yes, I remember Jerry Manuel taking over after Willie got fired, and thank you for the call. I don't recall, though, BT, how it came together. Did Willie pick Jerry Manuel?
I don't either. Honestly, I don't remember that. Usually really good with this stuff. I just don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably find that out. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember, though, especially back then, like, you don't think Omar was forcing guys on Willie when he hired him to have...
I don't think so.
He should be on your staff.
I
forget how Jerry Manuel got there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Willie brought... I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember, so I shouldn't say.
But the other point I think is a good one here. You know, Beltran is not going to be the bench coach for Mendoza.
He's too big of a personality. You can't have that. So, but to the point where even you are saying that Kai Correa is going to put some pressure on Mendoza. So some people are already going to think that regardless. Imagine it was Beltran. If they said Beltran's going to be the bench coach,
forget about it.
We'd all be saying just move on now.
Just take the job now.
From Mendy. And I believe Mendy's going to be all right. Eventually, I still believe that. Joey Clams is calling from Brooklyn. Let's try him again. What's up, Joey?
Hey, how you doing, my man? I'm still learning how to work the iPhone.
Thought you might have been sleeping with the fishes.
I got some pinochle shirts for you if you need them for Gravesend. I know the guys over there.
Yeah, I do need them for next time, maybe next week.
I got one. I got two of them for Male Attitude BT from 86th Street and 21st Avenue on 86th Street.
God.
I still got the shirts. They still rocking them.
You're
they
an
were
interesting cat.
$175 back then. They're still looking good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. It's enough's enough with this team. 8 years with the same message with Boone. Thank God they got rid of the first base coach. He was standing watching, judging the pickle, and not telling Rice to go to second base. Nobody's mentioning Davey Martinez as a manager. And if we're not going to change the manager, put Yankee blood and players or coaches around Boone that's been through it before. You got to have real coaches on that bench.
Yeah.
Look at all the time the Yankees won. Look at the coaches on the bench. You need former players on that bench.
Joey, I got to tell you, Joe, I think that they've willingly have purposely gotten away from that.
Correct.
I don't think that they want Posada in the dugout. I think that they have purposely moved further and further away from that philosophy.
It's not just the Yankees. Major league teams don't want that old school mentality, former players teaching these guys the game. It's all analytically driven, and there's a robotic nature to the way that the data and metrics or analytics are applied, and then you wonder why there's a robotic nature to the players themselves. Whereas the pitchers are robots, they go out there, I did my 6 innings, 7 innings, 100 pitches, I'm ready to be taken out, as opposed to the guys who get the hell out of here. Yeah. I'm finishing this thing. And now, I'm not saying be reckless and stupid and ignore good information or try to keep guys healthy, but there's got to be a better balance in my mind. And to your point where we think as fans, well, if you're not going to fire the manager, bring in some other coach around him. No, this is by design. The front offices purposely don't want anybody that we would want that used to be associated with the game. They want the young, nerdy, data analytically driven guys.
Nerdy. Not every team. Mattingly's in uniform. Ron Washington's been in uniform. Yeah, I know. So I feel like it's more... I can't prove this. It's just my opinion that Cashman, this is going to sound really negative, and I don't mean it to, but you just know that Cashman's not controlling Posada. So you get somebody in there that's a little more controllable. I think that the Yankees have shifted there, but not every team.
Most front
office two guys. Yeah. Now Ron wasn't a great player. Donnie was. Doesn't matter. They were both around the game for a long time. They were in dugouts, or they were until Ron got fired.
Well, that's exactly right.
But he was a bench coach for a long time.
Some teams, the handful of guys that we know them, the Bochy's, Melvin, whatever, were on Washington, Buck, when you were saying those guys are dinosaurs now. Sadly, that's it. The game has changed to the point where the front offices, you mentioned the key word, they want control. And if Bernie Williams shows up or Jorge Posada shows up, those guys lose control because who are you going to listen to? Brian Cashman and whoever his analytical people are, or Bernie Williams and Jorge Posada? So when that big a presence is around, those guys lose control. And it's not just the Yankees, it's everybody. BT and it happens with the Mets all the time. BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we come back. 888-808-1019, 3RQ coming up at 1140. As well. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with a new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer's sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Giants fans are feeling the excitement Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo have injected into the season.
Throws it to the sideline. Open is Robinson. Runs out of a tackle. Down the right sideline. Cuts inside at the 5. In for the touchdown.
A win over the rival Eagles last week propels them into the Mile High City, heads held high.
Oh, he does a backflip.
The rookie sensations and Big Blues D will look to ruin Denver's return home from across the pond and keep the winning going. Don't miss a snap this Sunday at 4 here on your home for New York Giants football. 101.9 FM WFAN and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Putting in a fence, repairing your sidewalk, whatever the project, know what's underground before you dig. Call 811. Con Ed will send someone to mark the location of gas, electric, and steam lines for you. It's free, it's safe, and it's the law.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $227 a month and $2,004 due at delivery, lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with two-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right, bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. With a $755 million investment in the expansion of a universal after-school program, allowing over 184,000 New York City students to participate. With better schools building brighter futures, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
Okay, listen up, everybody. This is really special. The Elevate team sent me some complimentary cases of their hydrogen-infused super water, and I've been drinking it now nonstop for a few weeks. The water is backed by science, and it's actually been helping me with my aches and pains, energy, endurance, recovery, sleep, and so much more. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you've got to give it a try to believe it. Go to drinkelevate.com, put in my code word Boomer, and get a complimentary 12-pack. Shipping's on us. Order now before this ends, and trust me, you will thank me later. For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with zero down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax type 498, Dr. DNV.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Have something to say? Dial us 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
BT and Southbacks on the fan, 888-808-1019. Hoff's been bothering me all morning so far. First of all, Hoff, you went to the Ranger game. I get a call yesterday. Remember I was telling you I was thinking about going to the game? In between, right? I had a show at SNY, so once I'm done, I had some time to kill before I go over to Gravesend said. So I was thinking about going to the Ranger game. Good thing I didn't, because I had a jam-packed night as it is that didn't end until 5:45 this morning. But I get a call from Hoff. I got somebody to take the 2 tickets with me. He had 3 tickets. So don't worry about it. You're good. I was like, oh, all right. I mean,
who'd he take?
So, Hoff, who'd you take to the Ranger game?
Took a buddy of mine, and I took my brother.
Okay, so you went with a buddy and your brother, and you didn't really want to go with me, and that's fair enough. And then,
I did want to go with you. I realized your day, you were so anxious, BT, you know this.
I was
Sal's anxiety is through the roof normally.
Yes.
And then you throw on an acting thing he's never done before.
Yes.
He was like pacing. He was very anxious.
It's funny because unless you say it, I don't think a lot of listeners feel the anxiety, but you get revved up before a lot of stuff internally. I can only imagine what was going through your mind before you stepped on that set.
Well, you must have been a mess. I mean, for the whole week, like leading up to it, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I need to have things planned. I need to know what's going on. I didn't know what I was getting a text from Wardrobe. What are you wearing? Can you bring something? I'm freaking out during the middle of the show. And Hoff is referencing a conversation that we had on the way out of here yesterday in the bathroom. He's like, dude, I was really anxious about this and nervous about it. Okay, one thing at a time. Do the radio show, get through the TV show, and then a new world of experience. I don't know what to expect. And then basically it played out like as bad as it could.
Worst case.
Well, as far as the time goes, yes. Anyway, so Hoff ended up going to the Ranger game, and good, you got what you deserved. They didn't score a goal. You didn't even get to see the. I thought they were going to go over 2.5 goals.
They still haven't played the goal scoring music yet in 3 games.
Are you serious?
It's never happened before, right, in the NHL?
To start a season, I believe, right? Three straight games at home to start a season, 0 goals. I mean, listen, I'm not going to talk, Rangers need to roll out this 3rd or 4th line. I have no idea, except I know they're playing better than their home record would say. You got to start scoring some freaking goals. This is embarrassing. It's like the Knicks scoring 60-something points 3 straight games to start the season. Score a goal, man.
It's another unexpected embarrassment in New York sports. That's just that's a Met Jet type deal. Maybe the older Knicks, Yeah,
for sure.
For the Rangers, not like who does that?
Nobody.
By the way, they could have scored a goal and still lost the game, and it would have been bad enough. But insult to injury. It's just embarrassing in New York sports. You get the Rangers, the first team ever to open the season, 3 straight games not scoring a goal. You know what I think? Sam Rosen. It's a jinx. No Sam, no goals. But they tell me that's a coincidence?
Okay, interesting. I don't know. But it's not like they did Sam dirty. All right, Sam, you've been here a long time. We got to get rid of you for a younger voice. Sam willingly stepped away. So why would there be like a Sam Rosen curse?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I mean, we don't know the exact details. And either way, if Sam, he wanted to retire, happily retired, I'm sure he misses it to a certain extent. But all I know is this. There's no Sam. There have been no goals at the Garden. You do the math.
How is the Hoff? Are they at least getting shots on goal?
Yeah, they had 28 shots on goal.
That's a ton. All right, they'll start dropping.
That's why Sullivan said he's not really worried about it. Plus, Shesterkin has been great.
Yeah, but have you watched them at home? I'm very worried.
No, I have not.
The power play's been
Somebody took the ticket out from under me yesterday. Otherwise, I would have watched them. So you've been in my ear all morning long about the Gold Glove. What is your obsession with the Gold Gloves?
Well, I'm just waiting for, it's a big deal in New York. Because we've had guys win in the past. Guys haven't been nominated in the past. So I thought it was important to be on top of it.
Who's going to get nominated? Most of the guys stink on defense. Bellinger should get nominated.
No.
He didn't.
I'm saying he should.
No, I know, but he did not.
He did.
Cody Bellinger did not get nominated for a Gold Glove?
That's a joke. Did Grisham?
No.
Who did?
Judge?
There's 4 guys who got nominated entirely by the Mets and Yankees.
All right, so it's not Lindor because he had a bad year defensively. Judge?
You never know, dude. I saw 2 Mets.
Okay, hold on. It's not Nimmo. Taylor didn't play enough.
One's a pitcher.
Did they do Soto? Don't tell me they gave Soto
I don't know.
a token nod in
Let
right.
me give you the 2 that I saw, and then we can play the guessing game the rest of the way instead of just naming every play. David Peterson, Luis Torrens.
I'm not even thinking pitchers.
Yeah,
There you go. And backup catcher.
I did
Torrens?
Yeah.
And I did see Freed, right, for the Yankees.
Yes.
So
Well,
those
he's
are
won
3.
in the past.
So who else?
That's got to be Judge.
One other guy?
Judge.
Yeah, Ryan McMahon for Colorado Rockies / Yankees.
You know what?
It was the NL.
He's a great fielder. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's it. That means Volpe didn't get nominated.
Well, obviously, he couldn't throw the ball on a straight line.
Well, I mean, he did win a couple of years ago for some reason, or he got nominated a few years ago.
No, he won it.
Yeah, I know. I still don't know why. Lindor didn't get nominated.
He didn't deserve to
Alonso
this
didn't
year.
get nominated at first base.
Yep.
Judge didn't get nominated. Like nobody, even utility guys, no one got nominated.
Bellinger to me is a little bit of a surprise. He was terrific.
That's a
wherever
miss
he
right
played.
there. I mean, think about. Now, I don't care about Gold Glove. I did when I was young. Like, they were like Ozzie
they don't
Smith,
need
Donnie
anything
Keith.
anymore
Like, I loved it back then.
And Clint Frazier gets nominated. Soto's been nominated. I didn't even know that until yesterday.
Clint
Came up on
Frazier?
baseball. You don't remember when Clint Frazier got nominated?
With the Yankees or with the Indians? No, I don't.
with the Yankees.
He sucked.
Exactly. He was a butcher in right field. I couldn't believe it.
Is that true? How did I miss that?
Look it up.
Are you sure about that?
Well, now I'm doubting myself because my confidence
think
is
he
shattered
did.
because of what happened on the set with Gravesend last night. But I'm 99% sure that Clint Frazier got nominated for a Gold Glove. Dude, Soto got nominated. They told me last night on set, I'm like, what are you talking about, Soto?
Yeah.
He got nominated for a Gold Glove when he was with San Diego. Like, I love Soto. I'm a Soto apologist, for goodness sake.
2020.
Clint Frazier?
Frazier.
Told you, dude.
Well, because it was only 60 games. He didn't have enough time to mess up.
It doesn't matter. You pick somebody else. He couldn't play.
It's funny. When we were younger, now like kids get medals and rings for like big tournaments, whatever. But back in the day, trophies, you just had trophies, just normal trophies. The coolest trophy I ever got was the Gold Glove Award.
Did they do like a similar?
It was actually a glove for we didn't call it club teams, but it was for the cadets back in the day. It was a fake gold glove that was the size of, a little bigger than my fist. It was awesome. My parents still have it.
By the definition, like I'm a by definition guy. Most valuable player. It's not the best player in the world, Aaron Judge. I believe this year the most valuable player was Cal Raleigh. We could have the discussion, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Gold glove. If it's just going by the glove, maybe Pete would have a chance. If we're just going Gold Glove, maybe they could come out with the golden arm or the
gold throw, the gold
yeah.
flip to first base. We wouldn't get that because of Senga.
Well, you can't throw, obviously, but his glove's actually not awful.
No. He usually catches the ball that's at him. The problem is, like, Torrens.
Scooper Award, he would have got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's Gold Glove.
It's part of catching it, sure. Like, Torrens gets nominated, and listen, he's a very good backup, and I'm no shade towards Torrens. It was a good pickup, but Bellinger doesn't. I mean, think about the night-to-night defensive value in four places for Bellinger, and I don't care.
Torrens was terrific, though,
But
and he
that's
also
ridiculous.
He also played a lot because Alvarez was hurt a lot of the
No,
years.
I know. I liked her. I wish, he's a good backup.
I think Torrens was a fair nomination. I don't understand
How many games did he play, Hoff? Honestly, Torrens, you have it in front of you? He didn't play 100 games.
He probably came close to it.
Yeah, he played a lot more
that
than you
much,
think, and he was very good.
No, I like him. He's a good player. He's solid.
Meaning, like, defensively, I forget the exact rate, but he was throwing out guys at a ridiculous
I remember
rate.
there was some nasty
He played
swipe
92
tags.
games. I forgot you have to have a certain amount
That's
of
all he
innings
played,
in there.
92?
Come on.
Yeah, but you have to have a certain amount of innings, and I think he played most of the games before Alvarez came back. So I feel like he registered for the Gold Glove.
There was, I'm not saying he wasn't eligible, just 90-something. That's too low for me. There was a situation in the 90s, and I think it was Rafael Palmeiro who won the award. It may have actually broken Dottie's streak.
As a DH.
And he didn't play first base.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
They gave
he didn't play first base.
They gave Corey Seager a nomination. He played 106 games.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
that's why we shouldn't even care about it. So back to the main point: why are you so obsessed with if you never mention Gold Glove to me or Jerry or BT, we were looking at you like what's I don't understand the obsession.
Because it's just embarrassing to see guys like Nick Allen and Daniel Schneemann on these and Ernie Clement on these things, and we're like,
Clement's a player.
I mean, those guys are good fielders.
Daniel Schneemann, who is he?
I have no idea.
I'm sure he's good though. I've never heard of the guy, honestly. Daniel Schneemann?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Seriously, who does he play for?
The Guardians.
Yeah. Well, you know what? plays into Kai Correa.
That's it. Listen, Kai Correa groomed him. Here we go.
Hey, he won Schneemann a Gold Glove.
Well, he might. He won at least a
had him placed in the proper places there.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
BT and Sal, the little 3RQ. When we come back, we'll get back to your calls as well. 888-808-1019, the number to call.
Well, Sal, last night while you were doing your thing as a blossoming TV star, I was doing my thing, getting into the sickest car that I've ever seen. So we've told you that Cadillac is going to drop off some rides here. Now, yours is there as well. They dropped off the Escalade IQ for me last night. And I do admit, because, I'm not 30, it's going to take me a little bit to figure it out. There's a lot of buttons. I think I'm in a spaceship. I'm going to blast off to a planet pretty soon. But you want to talk about something that is absolutely dope and ridiculously futuristic looking. Now, this is something that I can see you saying on the air. My wife took some of the boys to school today in it. Colt wanted to show his buddies. Yeah, so it's all good. She's like, this thing is sick. I'm like, I wish I had this when I was single. I mean, you imagine it. Of course, I was kidding, but was I? It is just gorgeous. 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs, and whether it's for performance or the range and whatever it might be, you certainly make an entrance. The Escalade IQ, it is absolutely off the charts sick, Sal.
Yeah, that is one thing. When I did pull into the driveway at 5:45 this morning after the Gravesend thing, I saw the Cadillac sitting there, so they dropped it off, so I can't wait to get in it. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe tonight if I get home in time. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles, BT mentioned it, the Escalade IQ. Check out his Instagram or socials. It looks great. The Vistic, the Optic, and the Lyric. That's the one I drove last year. Can't wait to get it. I think I have the Optic sitting in my driveway right now. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? Teoscar Hernandez isn't scared of ghosts, but his wife wasn't risking it. The Dodgers had been staying at Milwaukee's famously haunted Pfister Hotel, but Mrs. Hernandez insisted the couple switch spots because she was so freaked out. Other players have had spooky run-ins at the Pfister, flickering lights, creepy footsteps, but with the 2-0 series lead in the NLCS, turns out the Dodgers are the true boogeymen. I'm Maggie Gray.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at terraorigin.com and select retailers.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's cross-climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin cross-climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where you can get a single line with everything you need. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Viant, innovating digital advertising. Didn't think you could advertise on the largest sport platforms? Think again. Viant helps brands show up where it counts, on live sports, where audiences are the most engaged. It's simple, smart, and built for results you can actually measure. No wasted time, no wasted spend. Viant. Visit ViantCTV.com and get your message in front of the right audience today.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
At Volkswagen Manhattan, experience premium service in the heart of New York. Visit their flagship showroom on 56th and 11th. Volkswagen Manhattan, where sophistication meets performance.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Partly sunny skies, high around 67.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Your friends pretend they know sports. WFAN actually does. Get smarter, louder, and way more annoying at watch parties. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
A good question.
3 random questions.
Find out.
With Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
1, 2, 3.
On The Fan.
3 random questions is sponsored by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured? Visit injurylawyer.com. Number 1, since I've moved to Jersey, I've noticed something on the road that I don't recall seeing at all on Long Island or the Expressway or the parkways in my entire life living on the island. Roadkill. So my first question to you, BT, is you ever hit a deer or some other big kind of animal like that?
I almost hit one the other night.
Deer?
Yep.
Driving home, where were we at?
Thankfully, I was in the neighborhood, so it was kind of like, smaller streets, and coming back from picking up one of the kids at practice. There was a little deer family. It's actually adorable the way you see them all the time, the way they interact. It's actually pretty cool.
Right.
Because we didn't grow up with that. I didn't see that at all in Brooklyn. And I was going probably 25, 30, and I hammered the brakes. I absolutely would have wiped out this family, and I thankfully did not. And both of my kids were in the car. What are you laughing at? Both of my kids were in the car, and they were so proud, because they're still young. So I love it. They were like, "Oh, Dad, you saved the family." I'm like, because then Mommy and Daddy, it was the kids. Then Mommy and Daddy came running in. I'm like, yeah.
You ever get a squirrel or anything? I
don't care about squirrels.
Well, I'm saying,
I don't think that I
one?
have,
Okay.
but that wouldn't bother me.
Me
that
neither.
much.
Maybe a bird or something. Okay, so my question is, and you're right, it is dangerous. I now do actually fear the deer. It's something that I'm not accustomed to.
Yep.
No matter what time of day it is, in the neighborhood driving home, there's always at least a deer, if not a family or multiple deer. It's
a plural, no S. It's deer.
Okay, it is deer, right?
I know what you were thinking.
Doe, deer.
Deer. Well, that's a type. You're talking about a group. It wouldn't be deers. It's deer.
Okay, doe-eyed little deer, whatever. Okay, so I've seen a lot of them. I've also seen a lot of them dead on the side of the road. So it's
every day.
They're all over the place.
On 280.
Yes.
Not in the neighborhoods, but on the highways.
No,
I have
sometimes in the neighborhood, sometimes very rare. On 280, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen some. On 280, dude, the other day I saw a dead beaver. So I actually could see the tail, which is how I knew it wasn't a possum or a raccoon. But I've seen that as well. But multiple deer on 280 every day. Every day. Now, some are the same, but it's been going on I've been there a year and a half. It's like, who the hell is hitting all the deer? Like, when does that happen? I've seen a lot of live deer. I've seen a lot of dead deer. I've never seen somebody hit deer.
Neither have I, now that I think about it.
So when is this happening?
Why are they all over the place? I don't know. There's a lot of cars and there's a lot of deer. I mean, maybe that's the short answer.
I know, but
and we're not on the road that much, even though traffic sucks. I mean, if you really think about the amount of time we're on the road.
It's probably late at night, too,
when it's darker. Yeah, I mean, deer, they don't really think much. I don't know how big they're. I know birds have little brains and some other have really little. They must have little brains because they don't calculate much at all before they just dart into the road. They just don't.
Do they look like they've been smashed? Or does it look like they dude, almost like I freaked out and they passed out in the side?
No, it's ugly. It's a murder scene.
Yeah,
I almost killed a wild turkey once, but it flew above my car and scraped the top of my car.
I just don't understand. I'm like, well, this is weird. I'm
wild turkey.
I drive very carefully, especially at night, because I don't know one's going to pop around the corner.
No, for sure. I'm aware of it too. Yeah,
even at night coming in, I saw a family of four, and they're like, they give you that look. They're looking right at you. I'm like, whoa, stay away here. And then I remember the scene in Tommy Boy where the deer wrecked the car.
Got in the car with Spade. Yeah.
So I'm afraid of it, but I'm like, man, who's hitting all these deer? Okay, number 2, do you believe in ghosts? And this comes from, I was listening to the morning show on the way home this morning, the warm-up show with Jerry and Al and Jerry, and they were talking about the hotel in Milwaukee. You've known
I've stayed there, Pfizer.
Okay, yeah.
I stayed there with the Knicks.
Pfister?
Pfister, that's what I meant.
It's a Pfister
Pfizer
hotel.
What am I saying?
Anyways,
I was looking at stocks before. Pfister, yes.
So
P-F-I-S-T-E-R.
It's supposed to be haunted.
It is.
Ghosts. You believe in ghosts?
I don't believe it. I just believe in religious, that. No, I don't believe in ghosts.
So, but then how could you say it's haunted?
Well, I'm saying that's the word on the street. So I can't verify that it's haunted. And I will say when I stayed there, probably 06, and I think we were on the team bus, and maybe Johnny Andres, rest in peace, God, I miss Johnny. He was the best. I think he was the one who told me, he said, rumor is it, he'd speak very stately, rumor is it, Branton, that the Pfister is haunted. Meanwhile, I'm like, where's the nearest bar, John? I'm just looking to go out. I'm single, I'm going out in Milwaukee.
Sure, he was too, no?
No, Johnny was always good for a couple scotches.
Yeah, there you go.
You can put him down. Bay Ridge guy, by the way. You were in Bay Ridge guy.
Oh, I wish I met you. I met him once, but this is years ago.
One of my old-time fans. I love him to death. I wish he was still with us, man. One of the great people. And he told me that, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I went out, and I gave it no thought. But then when I went out, and I came home later, and it was kind of quiet, I was looking around a little bit. I remember looking over my shoulder, like being a little marginally freaked out, but I do not believe in ghosts. I believe in religion.
Would you stay there again?
Yeah, it would not deter me.
Hoff, you have any issues with the ghost stuff? You probably like that, right?
I love the ghosts. They definitely exist. I don't know if I've ever ran into one before, but they definitely exist.
Yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, but I wouldn't tempt fate and stay there myself. There's plenty of other hotels. What do we need to say at these?
It's a really nice one, though.
Yeah,
it is nice.
Howie wrote. So last night it came up, obviously, because the Dodgers were in Milwaukee.
I saw it.
Teoscar Hernandez said that
his wife.
Yeah, he didn't care. He doesn't believe his wife didn't want to stay there.
Yeah.
And then Howie said, "This is nonsense. This is a great hotel."
His girlfriend could stay there.
Yeah. Right.
Did you see, by the way, that the Ghostbusters penthouse is up for sale?
No, where did they film that? Was it in New York City?
Yeah, it's up in New York City.
I know the firehouse was down by where, when I was in the minors at OR. That was
the penthouse is up more. I think I want to say like 156 or something like that, like around that area, 150s, 120s. It's $42 million, the penthouse.
Jesus.
42 mil.
Now, I don't believe in any ghosts. Okay, number 3, and this is a little more serious one. Off the heels of our, pal Nick Mangold here asking for help. Would you donate?
I should be the first one. You're going to end on a downer.
Well, I wanted to end on the more serious one. You get some. Are you an organ donor?
I put no. I did for a long time. I put no.
You were?
On my license. I did.
And then you stopped.
Yeah, it's
my wife.
I'll tell you why. Okay, I want to hear your. I'll tell you why.
Would it be on my license? Because I thought that I.
You know what? I'm just going to tell you why you're looking for it.
Okay,
you know why I stopped doing it?
Why?
So when you get the option to donate on your license,
Should
I'm always
it say on here on your license?
It has, Yeah, it always has.
I almost just cursed. Yeah, I am an organ donor.
Good for you, and as was I. But was it my mom or was it my wife? I remember them telling me, whomever it was a while ago, and this is crazy. Like, maybe you shouldn't be an organ donor because, God forbid, if you get into an accident and it's 50-50 that you're going to live.
They put you out.
They put you out and they take the organ.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Is that true,
mitigate risk here.
I would lean towards yes. I like
They're not going to.
Conspiracy theories, yes.
My wife gave me bad info here.
Well, maybe she's trying to take you out.
Maybe.
Good info
it's
for her.
One thing, Hoff gave me bad info about, what's going on with J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. This is my life we're talking about. My wife made me feel guilty. Anyway, obviously, we hope Nick Mangold gets the donation that he's looking for with the kidney.
Yes.
And I do expect, because his reach is so big and he was such a great person and great player, somebody with the match will step up and donate.
I agree.
I don't know if I have it in me. Like, if I'm dead, do what you got to do. Take the. I'm not going to know about it. But alive, like if my.
Yeah, but
my
you
wife,
have two kidneys. Like, I'm not trying to step in here because
But what
I
if
can't.
one goes bad?
Well, I have one that's bad, so I can't give because of that.
So you're out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm already out, and I'm not an so sorry.
Yeah,
Nick.
after the match, he's
But
no.
I do
I don't even know what I am. Do you know what you are?
Yeah.
Is that on my license?
No.
No, you should know anyway. That's the only A+ I ever had in life was my blood type. But that being said, I do know people that have donated kidneys, like to their fathers or whatever. Like, it's a serious deal, but like that's usually how it goes.
Whoa. So now, I've heard those too. Now you're asking me, my wife, my children, they need something?
Different story.
Sign me up. What time am I at the hospital? Cut me open.
Children take it all.
That's a given.
Wife, if it's either me or her, I mean.
Don't say that.
Dude, what I'm saying.
What? I'm not saying you have to choose between either or. It's like if you have an extra one, you could give it.
Well, all right, but here's the conundrum. What if I gave it to my wife, but a couple years later my mother needs it?
Well, ask for it back.
Like, I could be saying, I'm sorry, honey. I know you need this right now, but my mom might need it soon. You know what I mean?
My mom might need it. Just built in the built-in asterisk.
I
just
can't.
in case.
Like, that's an all-in move. You can't be doing that multiple times.
Not with that, you can't. No, you only have two hops. And if only one is functional, you can't do it anyway.
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat for everybody would for their children.
What about for Mangold? Maybe to turn the jet.
Come on, man. If that's going to get
BT.
the Jets a Super Bowl.
Unkillable. Dude, you know what that would do for the unkillable brand?
Unkidneyable. I'm going to have to repackage this.
Think about it. You and Mangold together. We are unkillable. He's got a good kidney now. Oh, my God.
Yep. I know.
Think about the
interesting
brand, man.
connection.
Yeah.
It's all for the brand,
You know
right?
how famous you become?
Yeah.
Like, Unkillable got you,
a couple of pops here and there, sure.
I mean, it got what? Close to 1 million views?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the highest ones here at the Fan
that's
ever.
What I thought. Yeah. So, I mean, with Mangold now, you two team up. You got to get you don't know if you're O, you said?
No, I know my blood type.
And?
What about it?
Is it?
No, it's not a no. It's not. I'm not a match.
I don't know. I felt a little hesitation there. All right,
I didn't know what you were asking me.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll reset, get back to your calls on the Mets and Yankees coaching staff and all that stuff. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I don't know about you, but I remember Jaxson Dart being a bit of a project heading into the draft. And people thinking that of all the quarterbacks taken in the first round, he may very well be the least equipped to step in and start right away.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. One hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
the story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera. You lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
When it comes down to finding the lowest price on Michelin winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tires' guaranteed lowest price. And when it comes to free services, nobody gives you more free services on your Michelin winter tires than Town Fair Tire. So why look for Michelin winter tires anywhere but Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed best deals? Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Upgrade your laundry routine with a durable and reliable Maytag laundry pair at Lowe's. Like the new Maytag washer and dryer with performance-enhanced stain-fighting power, designed to cut through serious dirt and grime. And what's great is this laundry pair is in stock and ready for delivery when you need it the most. Don't miss out. Shop Maytag in-store or online today at Lowe's.
Football season is Modelo season. If you're listening to this, it means you live and breathe Giants football. And you know what that makes you? A full-time fan, which means you deserve a Modelo. Reward your fandom with an ice-cold Modelo, an official cerveza of the New York Giants. Please drink responsibly.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit orlandcohen.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Don't fumble the ball when it comes to fine jewelry, diamonds, and engagement rings. There's only one choice. It has to be H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Visit hlgross.com.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:01. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Paramus Chevrolet. We knew Anthony Volpe dealt with a left shoulder issue for most of this past season. The Post saying Volpe had surgery for a torn labrum yesterday. The Yankee shortstop should be fully recovered before opening day. The Mets just confirming yesterday's reported hires: Kai Correa as bench coach and Jeff Albert as the director of Major League Hitting. Plus, David Peterson and Luis Torrens are Gold Glove finalists. The ALCS has has the stage to itself today. Game 3 in Seattle, 8-0-8, like the Brewers in the NL. The Blue Jays lost the first 2 games at home. Only 3 of 28 teams to do that in a best-of-7 have rallied to win the series. Shane Bieber and George Kirby on the mound tonight. And Rangers center Vincent Trocheck going on long-term IR with his upper body injury. He must miss 10 games in 24 days. He has already set out their last 3 contests. Fan weather sponsored by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. It's 63 degrees and mostly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Sal Licata back on The Fan on this Wednesday now afternoon. We are down with the king topic of the day. We've been a little bit all over the place today, BT, having some fun, but we started the show talking about the change with the Mets and their coaching staff as they hire Kai Correa to be their bench coach, which to me just signified, I knew they were going to do this. I hated the fact that they do this. I was hoping against hope that they would just let Mendoza pick his guys, and instead they go with a guy who is ultra analytical and doesn't have a prior relationship with Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah, he doesn't, which is interesting to me. Tells me all I need to know, that this is, the Mets shoving somebody next to him in case it doesn't go well for Mendoza. He's on the chopping squad. I don't think there's any other way to read this. Now, you brought up maybe Beltran. Others have brought in Beltran as well. When I first diagnosed this, I'm like, okay, this is basically, a layup to try to read the tea leaves here. You have an underachievement of a season, all right? You fire basically the entire staff. You bring in Correa, and you know that he's not a Mendoza. Not that they can't get along and actually be a good team, but he's not Mendoza's guy. So, this is very basic stuff. And I'm saying, well, all right, Mets get off to a rough start. Correa's going to take over, scoot up a seat, whatever, and he'll be the manager. And then you and others said, well, it doesn't have to necessarily, if that's true, it doesn't necessarily have to be Correa. It could then be Beltran come in and Correa stay in the job that he's currently at. So that might be the case. However, this is a big red, orange and blue warning flare across the sky to Mendy. Get off to a good start or you're out.
You see, I don't see it that way. We could just disagree on that, but I just don't like the idea that they would do this. And it's not just the Mets, it's everybody else that do the same thing. The front offices are making these hires, not the managers. It used to be, hey, we're going to hire a manager to run this ball club and let him pick his guys that he wants. To me, that is a better formula or a better foundation to have success than the data and analytical people in the front office saying, we're going to take this manager because he wants to be we want him to be an extension of us, and then we're going to hire other guys around him and put them all together. Like that just, I could understand why they might think that would work. This is baseball. It is not just any other business that's being run. So I like the idea of having a guy that wants to have his guys around him if he believes that they are, they're going to bring different things.
Assets.
Whatever it may be. I'm sure Kai Correa is an asset to the organization. That's why they went out there and brought him in. However, it's an ultra analytical asset, and I think the Mets need to get, I don't want to say further away from that because that sounds foolish as well, but I think they need a better balance. As a matter of fact, I would say that Carlos Mendoza, to me, year one, had the better balance, and that's why he was good. Year two, it was by the book Mendy, where it was, I brought in the lefty when it said to bring in the lefty. I pulled him out when it said to pull him out. What do you want from me? Can't blame me. I'm going based off of the analytics, and look where it got him. It got him in trouble.
Yeah, it did get him in trouble, and it could get him in more if this thing doesn't work out. I really think that, I don't think it's going to be like George Steinbrenner when he fired Yogi after, 8 or 12 games, whatever year that was, somewhere in the 80s. I don't think it's going to be that, but I think the pressure is going to be it's just going to be heavy.
100% of it.
Heavy. And not just for Mendoza, but for the Mets players, obviously. Now, the stars, it's not going to bother Soto one bit. I don't think it's going to bother Lindor. Is Pete back? And there's so many different aspects of this Mets team that they've got to rebuild, and you got to get some pitchers here as well. And it's going to be felt, though. It's going to be felt in the stadium. Like, if the Mets get off to a rough start the way last year ended, fans will be on them immediately, and rightfully so. Whereas last year, they gave them a grace period because the previous year was one of overachievement. And when you overachieve, fans generally give you some time to figure things out.
Do you think, because my initial thought to what you were just saying there to respond was going to be, yeah, but all right, if they fire Mendoza, so what? Who are they going to get? It's going to be a similar type guy. But I believe that it would likely be Beltran, and he might be the one guy. Now, let me just state clearly, I like Carlos Mendoza a lot, and I believe he is the right guy to manage this team. I firmly believe that. I believe the Mets believe that, and I think you're going to see success this year to where he calms the storm. However, there is a very appealing, qualified candidate in the waiting where it's not just some analytical, whatever, pick a manager who's the analytical dream right now of a front office, the Kai Correa type. It's not just a guy like that, a no-name that's going to be, the data applicator. Beltran's more than that. So they do have an appealing choice if they were to move on. And I don't know that they're going to do it. To me, it just makes sense. And that would be the one situation where I'd be like, all right, well, even if they do move on from Mendy, it's not just going to be whatever other mouthpiece. Carlos Beltran, to me, he has the potential to be a great manager.
I've always been impressed with his baseball presence, the way he's respected, his intellect. Now, the one thing that I don't think anybody knows unless you're around Beltran all the time, I don't know how reliant he is on the analytics. We're assuming because he's older and he played for a long time that he's maybe a little bit more married to some things that are more appealing to us as older baseball fans. He might be one of the, and I'd have to double check his age, 45. But I'm just throwing mid-40s. I could be off on that, but it's probably in the neighborhood. But while he came up in an old school way, maybe he kind of saw the appeal of these numbers, and it's something that he would actually do maybe more than we think. Think about that.
Beltran.
We don't know how connected he is to the analyst. And the other thing, too.
48.
Okay, there you go. So the other thing, too, is I'm just of the mindset that whether it's an amazing first base coach, which they have, whether it's a new bench coach, which they have, whether it's Boone's staff, which has been shaken up a little bit here, both teams need players. Mets need more pitchers. Yankees need more contact guys. And if that doesn't happen, neither team's winning a championship.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Gary is calling from Astoria. What's up, Gary?
Hey, guys. Great show. I'm getting so tired of hearing about analytics. Just give me a little rope here, please. Analytics is nothing but BS. It's all past performance data. It does not tell you the day of the game what the players or the pitchers are going to do. Now, here's a headline for you. David Stearns is a fraud. And you're going to find out soon enough. Manny is going to get fired, no question about it. And I'm going to tell you something else. And the reason why I say that he's a fraud, he came from a small market. He came here, and during the trade deadline, he blew it. That showed me he didn't know what he was doing. Now he's sitting back trying to figure out, am I going to sign Pete Alonso? Or who am I going to get? He's going to be in big trouble if he doesn't sign Pete Alonso. I don't expect the Mets to do well this coming year, and I think David Stearns is going to be out of here in 3 years.
You bring up a good point, Gary, that we haven't talked about, and thank you for the call. And I can understand your frustration with analytics. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of talking about it myself. But unfortunately, it has dominated the Major League Baseball world. That's just it. Analytics is the premier thing in the landscape of Major League Baseball. Like it or hate it, that's the fact. We're focusing on Mendy and how if the Mets don't get off to a good start, his ass is going to be on the line. Well, what about Stearns? If the Mets have a bad year, now I'm not saying that I would fire him, but he's the one who hired Mendy. He's the one who put together the pitching staff this past year. Why are we just assuming that if the Mets start off poorly this year and things go wrong and they're not a good ball club or as good as they need to be living up to the expectations, why would Stearns possibly survive that?
Well, I would think that he would survive because generally, now maybe Cohen could do things differently, so I would leave that door slightly ajar. But think about when the Jets fired Sala. Really, Joe Douglas wasn't doing a good job, but it's like, okay, it's usually the order of you're out and then you're out next. So I don't think it will be a situation. Let's say and they're going to be good this year because they're going to bring in players. But let's just say it is an awful April, and the Mets are 9-21.
Yeah, they're not going to fire Stearns in season.
Exactly. I do think Mendoza might get fired. I don't think Stearns would.
But I'm not talking about just in season. I'm talking about in general. Now, again, I don't think it's the right recipe for sustained success. I personally I wouldn't even think about Stearns and Mendy and having them fired. We're going into year 3 with these guys. It's still early on. I need to see 3-4 years. I don't think there's going to be any urgency to it unless you knew that, let's say, the manager wasn't it. if you had to pick one person to blame of the two for this past season's failures, which one are you picking?
I can go either way, but my end, because I think they needed more pitching, and that's on Stearns. But I also, and I said this, so this is consistent, I saw Mendoza do a lot of things that were, whether it's not pinch running for Marte, Met fans, you know what I'm talking about. I talked about this, Josh, so I don't need to hit the 5 or 6 things. I really think that he mismanaged probably 4 or 5 spots where it was an easy answer, and he messed up, and if he got it right, they would have been a playoff team. So
I totally disagree with that.
Okay, let me just finish. Yeah. I got you. Let me just finish the thought. There's equal blame to go around. I'm not saying this is 100% Mendy and absolving Stearns 0. No. There's no way. I'm not saying that at all. But the Mets almost made the playoffs. One more win, they're in. And I thought their manager could have provided that.
Where I will agree with you is that I don't think Mendoza had a great year. And I do believe that if he were a better manager this year, they would have won a game or maybe got a game or two more and gotten into the postseason. However, the biggest reason why they didn't make it is because their pitching was an unmitigated disaster that I don't care what manager, Jim Leland, you pick a manager, Joe Torre, the greatest managers walking the face of the earth, or whoever walked the face of the earth, could have done anything with that pathetic excuse for a pitching staff. That is on David Stearns. So if I had to pick one guy who's like, dude, what the hell are you doing here? While Mendoza wasn't good and could have been better, I look at Stearns and say, what the hell's going on here? You built a crappy team. Like, this is unacceptable. So I would look at him more to blame than I would Mendy, but not absolving either. And then moving forward, if this happens again, and like David Stearns, every move that he made was a bust. Oh, every move that he made last year, pretty much every move. Maybe you give him credit for Clay Holmes. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that I'm forgetting, whatever.
Yeah, Rogers was okay early. The moves were not the way I thought they would go.
Almost everyone was a disaster. That is, last year's failures are as much on David Stearns, if not to me, 10 times more than they are on Carlos Mendoza.
I also thought there were times, and this is, it's egregious, I guess, but it's less obvious or less jumps out at you. But I thought there were times where he too often, and he's getting in the weeds of a season that's over, obviously, but where he went to and he played Vientos at third base rather than Beatty down the stretch, and Vientos' defense obviously hurt them. So there were mismanagements within the game, mismanagements within the lineup, where obviously I thought Mendoza took a big step back, but without fully exonerating the general manager either, which I'm with you. So let me put it this way, Sal, or let you answer this. So we've got all the Stearns moves so far. We know what Mendoza's done in 2 years. Like right now, without a single addition or any more thought, who do you perceive to be the bigger value to the Mets moving forward? Is it the general manager or the manager?
Well, the guy that I think is the bigger value is, well, let me rephrase that. The more valuable position clearly is general manager. You can find other managers. Much I love Mendy, you could find Carlos Beltran and not miss a beat, maybe even get better. Harder to find a president of baseball operations that has had as much success as Stearns. However, I believe at my core, Stearns is a bigger problem than Mendy. Meaning that Mendy to me is more a baseball lifer, old school, good baseball guy that gets it. Not afraid to hold his guys accountable. Could be a nice combination of gut feel and applying the new age analytics. Whereas Stearns, I look at as just a analytical guy that can be good at times, also could be a major detriment, as you saw this year.
Okay, so
like if I were to tell you, hypothetically, because I don't know this, I'm just saying it. If I were to tell you that maybe certain trades or certain players that the Mets acquired at the trade deadline weren't scouted as much as they needed to be.
Okay.
Because maybe the front office doesn't believe in scouting to that level.
Meaning they're just more reliant on the numbers, and we need this, and let's get this guy, bring him in.
I don't need a scout. Like,
meaning not putting eyes on somebody, they go to meaning they're not in the stadium watching somebody that they're thinking about trade for. What idiotic franchise does that? The Mets don't do that, dude.
I'm not saying that they do or don't. I don't know 100%.
But the way you're asking, it's an interesting
I think it's a possibility. And I'm not saying for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know the inner work. Maybe we could get some light on that from Martino when we talk to him coming up at 12:40.
Yeah, I need some info from him. That would be a good spot
But
today.
I'm just saying, like, those are the type of things where these front offices are getting away from, not all of them, because I think the Yankees rely a little bit more on scouts than maybe some other teams do. But scouts have gone by the wayside in a lot of cases, or at least they've been
marginalized.
Correct.
There's no doubt about that. It's all about stopwatches. The eyes that's gone.
So when you see somebody that maybe was performing well, but maybe there was a tipping situation going on in another market, maybe
without scouts identifying that.
I'm just throwing
it's
it out
an
there,
interesting thought. If that's the case, that will be incredibly disappointing and incredibly disconcerting, and something that the Mets need to change immediately. And if there's other teams doing that, them as well.
Well, scouts have been marginalized. That's
yes.
bad.
Well, understood. But there's still. You still got to be in the vicinity. You could just glean more. Anybody can watch film, but I can hear a little bit more. I can just see. I can see body language. I need to see players with my own eyes. I would hope that the Mets and the Yankees still do as well. I don't know. I mean, the other thing though, and it's an interesting thought. We'll get some answers from Andy. But the other thing too is I was gonna. I look at the way the Mets do. It's almost hard to verbalize here. You know what? I'm not even going to conflate the thoughts here. I'll get back to it because it's wordy. I want to make sure I put it the right way. We get the calls. I got it.
Elvis is in Orange County. What's up, Elvis?
Well, you guys are making me change my mind what I really wanted to talk to you about. But for a second about Mendoza, I'll tell you what I can't stand about the guy is that he actually has no feel for the game. If you watched that game last night, he would have took Yamamoto out of that game in the 7th inning.
Yamamoto, yeah. Mendy?
Yeah, he would have took him out.
No, I don't think Mendy. I don't think Mendy would be a slave to the pitch count or anything like that. I'm shocked Dave Roberts let him go out there. Dave Roberts has been the one who's pulling these pitches out of there. As soon as he can, he can't wait to get to the bullpen.
Yeah, he learned his lesson from the night before. He should have left with his name in the whole game too.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Brand,
exactly right.
Brand, this is a question for you.
Okay.
You guys were talking about hitting before. Now you coach, right? You coach your own kids.
I coach kids. Yeah. So loosely, whatever you're going to ask me, I'll translate it loosely. Go ahead.
Do you watch videos on hitting at all?
All the time.
Do you know who the teacher man is?
Is he a Jersey guy? Is it Ray? Coach Ray?
No, he's actually Judge's hitting coach.
Okay, go ahead. I saw a video with Judge last night, actually. Go ahead.
He's the one that changed Judge's swing. If you go back and look at videos, 2018, 2019, his swing, he changed it completely. The guy's a fantastic hitting coach. He works with a lot of hitters in the major leagues.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't believe in the way he teaches with launch quickness and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to watch him. I mean,
okay.
He's
I'll
really
check it out.
a great coach.
Yeah, I mean, but go ahead.
He's made my granddaughter a great hitter.
That's awesome.
And they're 13 years old.
But that's great. And hope she loves the game. And hopefully if she wants to, plays in college. I love that stuff. Here's the thing, though. It can't be one size fits all. And this is the problem with too many coaches nowadays, right? Aaron Judge is 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", 280, quick twitch. Just, the dude's he's a freak. So if you try to teach, whether it's Jazz, who's thin, or Volpe, or McMahon, the same thing, it's not going to work. I think you've got to take the best components of somebody's swing, stick with that, and then kind of work around it. Now, I don't know if are the Yankees doing that. I don't know. Or the Mets doing that. I'm not sure. The other thing that I was going to say though about Stearns, I didn't want to throw too many things, and that's why I went to the calls there. His absolute value to the Mets, I don't know. I like him. I don't love him. I like Mendy. I don't love him. Not personally. I mean, it's just long-term fixtures here, right? But the one thing that we have to do with Stearns that Mendy does not have yet, because he's only been managing for 2 years. Now, I don't know exactly what percentage of the components of the roster that Stearns built in Milwaukee, but I know it ain't zero. I know that he was in the room when they drafted a lot of those guys, and philosophically, the things that they do, they have the second best batting average, runners in scoring position, put the bat on the ball, very few strikeouts, like that style. Those are principles partly from David Stearns. So even if the Brewers don't win the World Series, they had a great regular season, and without the payroll, they might not. They probably lose it, whatever. But we know it works to an extent. So I feel like when I asked you, who do you have more faith in, Stearns or Mendoza? My answer would be Stearns with a little hesitation, but I'd still say Stearns because there's more body of work that he's done it more than Mendoza.
And by the way, to truly find out about Stearns, the success he had in year one was large in part to the players that were here before him.
No doubt.
Same thing even this year. A lot of the guys that were great, he really had nothing to do with. So it takes years for a general manager to completely turn over an organization. So we have no idea. Yeah, more of a reference point with Milwaukee with Stearns than what he's done in New York. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you could always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $227 a month and $2,004 due at delivery, lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with two-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Regular cancer screenings could save your life. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, breast, prostate, and more. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires that keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Hey, FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You could build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, And when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Talk sports hands-free. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. More of your calls in just a second. 888-808-1019. Andy Martino of SNY. He'll join us in about 15 minutes or so and give us some insight into what's going on with these coaching changes, maybe some other stuff with both the Mets and the Yankees. Speaking of the Yankees, I don't know if you saw this yet, BT, but I was just alerted to a new hit song, apparently, or a song maybe that hopes to be a hit. But it comes from north of the border. I'm not sure you're going to like it, but I do think it is a little bit catchy here. Let's play this. I saw this on John Boy Media, tweeted this out. I'm not sure who the authors are of this, but let's listen to a new song that pertains to the New York Yankees.
Hey, let's do it again.
That I gotta say, I don't know, I don't know all the words there, but I gotta say, it's becoming one of my favorite songs already. I think it's a hit.
Yeah,
I know a hit when I hear one. BT, that sounds like a hit to me.
I don't think that's going to get a whole lot of traction, especially when you're about to get broomed in the face here, as Toronto is. Oh my God, funny too.
That's the remix. No, that's the remix of it. The Blue Jays lose. The
Yankees lose.
Yeah, we can come up with our.
We'll come back with our own diss track. We'll just insert Jays for Yanks. I like the song that we came in with.
A little Snoop.
Of course.
Come on,
I love that.
That was catchy.
The LBC.
That was not. Well, you don't think that was catchy? That song?
The Yankee
Jays
one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm a Jays fan, I'm loving it. I'm bumping it up there. Sure.
I think it was catchy.
I didn't really understand what they were saying, except I know that they were making fun of us.
Let's
see
if we get it one more time, Nico.
You should translate the words. Is what you should do.
Can we do that? Well, I don't have the headphones to translate.
Well,
it.
I mean, just something that's going to take a little bit of work, which I don't know if anybody wants to do.
Go ahead, Nico. Hit it. Let's see if we can maybe.
Hey, let's do it again.
Let's see. Let's do it again. The Yankees lose. I got that. Okay.
Ahora no dicen los Kila, los número 1 en la liga. Nadie está matando a los Yankees.
No Yankee.
Como lo está haciendo esta liga. Yankees lose.
Here we go.
Yankees lose.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the part.
Yankees lose.
That's the part.
Yankees lose.
Oh, Hops loving this. You guys are idiots.
It's a great track.
And I was going to come up. See, this is the difference
catchy,
right
though.
here.
It is catchy.
I was going to come up with something nice. I was just scrolling social media, and I just saw something. Now, you did not get to watch this because you were too young. I did. So today, October 15th, 86, all right? And I retweeted this if you guys want to see it. Trailing 3-0 in the ninth, Mike Scott ready to go in Game 7. The Mets rallied to tie the game. This series was absolutely wild. Mets score 3 in the 16th in addition and narrowly hold on to beat Houston. And they go through the sequence. So it starts out where Dykstra hits an extra base hit. I didn't realize off Nepper. I did not realize how out in front of the pitch Dykstra was. More I see that probably should have been caught. And then
one-handed, yeah.
And then Hernandez hit a triple, that was well struck to right center that I actually really remember that, and I actually thought I had a chance to be got. It was one hop the
One
wall.
of the great games of all time.
And there's no question. And what I didn't also realize is that Mookie, who was sandwiched between Lenny and Keith, obviously, he barely remember the one that Ray Knight hit when they scored. Of course, when Ray Knight scored, and in the World Series that year.
Okay, yes.
The little squibber that he hit over second base.
Yes.
Mookie's was very similar. I didn't realize that ball was almost caught. That may have been Billy Duran or Doran, if I remember right, playing second base. But for the Astros, that Astros-Mets series, I remember walking to basketball practice with my buddies Pat and Tim. I guess the season had just started, and we were 12. And we were looking out, and it was Doc versus Scott, and it was 1-0. Mike Scott won. And we were peering through the window of the bar watching that game. Then I got home and I watched it more. And then when Gary had, which was yesterday, I believe, Gary had the walk-off base hit up the middle at Shea during the day. Yes.
Charlie Kerfeld, yeah.
Off the rain delay.
Who, by the way, I believe is a scout now. Charlie
Is he really?
Kerfeld, yeah.
Well, maybe the Mets should hire him because the Mets don't scout, apparently. And Gary had the base hit up the middle, and I was watching that at the bowling alley. We had like a Wednesday bowling league. That series, then, of course, Lenny's home run on the weekend, the 3-run shot or a 2-run shot with Backman on base. That Mets-Astros series was, without a doubt, one of the best series. It may have been the best from start to finish.
I've gone back and watched that series on DVD. So not only did I see it as a kid, and obviously as a 6-year-old, whatever, what do you really remember? And then watching the 86 Year to Remember video, but I've gone back in recent years, maybe 10 years or so ago, or during the pandemic, actually, so it was probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
And watched the series, each game.
Oh, not highlights. You watched the whole game.
No, the game.
See, that's cool.
And I did with the World Series as well. Also, there is a book about Game 6 specifically that I bought years ago, and I've yet to read it. But even hearing you talk about it now, maybe with the downtime, with the Mets and Yankees both out of it, a little slower season, I got to dive into that because that was such a great game that I want to relive it through the book again. I'll get you the name of it because it's just fascinating.
Interesting, and it's a good way. Now the game's changed a lot here, and Darryl would strike out here and there. It's like the Mets had no strikeout. Guys who struck out a lot back then. But if you look at all their rallies, even against the Red Sox in Game 6, when Buckner whiffed the ball at first base, think about some of their hits, like just guys making contact, putting the ball in play. Like you think about the essence of a rally. You can't have a multiple run deficit that you rally back from if you're going to strike out. And that's kind of the point now. Like when the Yankees or the Mets are down big, it's harder to, when I say big, 3 or 4 runs, more than that, that's just a crapshoot. You got to put the ball in play and put stress on the defense. And Mookie did it, and Ray Knight did it, and Lenny did it, and Keith did it, and it was just a wild game.
BT and Sal on the fan. Couple calls here before we break and get Andy Martino up. Julio's calling from Morristown, New Jersey. What's up, Julio?
Yeah, listen, I've been following the Mets for a while, and to be honest with you, I really wasn't that, excited about coming into the year, because here they go. They get somebody like a Juan Soto, and then they follow that up with a Montas and a Griffin and a Jared Young, and I actually think that this guy Stearns was caught off guard with it because Cohen was so hell-bent on getting Soto, and they said, you know what, how much money do we have to spend on anybody else? I mean, I'd like to know your opinion on that.
Well, if you're I'm going to ask you a question. It sounds like you're souring on Cohen or on Stern, just to be clear. Cohen, right?
I'm kind of, I really am, because I hate to use the word Wilpon in it, but it's like you get a fabulous ball player or an outstanding ball player, and what are you going to do? You're going to bank on somebody like Vientos or Beatty?
Well,
with just having a small window of what they did last
year. But Julio, hold on. When you get somebody, okay, listen, Julio, appreciate the call. Thank you. When you get somebody like Juan Soto, it's not a 1-year run. It's not like when the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, where you're gearing up for hopefully.
You got one, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you got one. Now, I think the last 5 or 6 years are going to be awful, but 90 or 75% of that contract, he's going to wear a Mets hat in the Hall of Fame. Put it that way, right? So it's going to work out for him. But think about what you're saying. So you're complaining about putting all the resources in Soto. That's one complaint. And I do understand the argument because you were left a little barren in some other areas. But contrast that to the Wilpons, who didn't put enough money in any area. I don't know what if your beef is with Cohen, you got to get over it. Cohen's got a ridiculous payroll.
Yeah, there's one guy who should be absolved of it all. At least that's how I feel. Where you could pick apart anybody. And I'm talking about even Soto himself. You could pick apart Soto. You could pick apart Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo, the Mets' best players, those guys. I mean, maybe Noel McLean, you can't really get him, but he's a young kid, whatever. You could pick apart almost anything and everything to do with the entire New York Mets franchise all for this year, except ownership, at least from my perspective. I think the owner did all he could do to put his ball club in a position to succeed. They failed, whether it be Stearns failing, whether it be the players themselves failing, whether it be the manager, all of them have all failed. To me, I don't know what more you could possibly want from it. You want to spend another $300 million? Like, I don't understand. And even if you do, that's not spending the most money does not guarantee winning. He needs his guys that he hired to build the right ball club. More on that when we come back with SNY's Andy Martino. We'll get some insight as to what's going on with both the Mets and Yankees and their coaching changes, possible free agent stuff as well. Martino next.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Napa, the pros that know how to keep your business moving at full speed. The Cowboys' defense is a mess. Second worst in points allowed, getting torched to the air and gashed on the ground. But Jerry Jones, he's standing by defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, saying, quote, he has a lot of confidence in his coach. No changes are planned despite 4 games giving up 30-plus points. Jerry Jones says it will all work out. But does anyone believe him? I'm Maggie Gray.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at slomanshieldlink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
Rutgers football is back in Piscataway throughout the rest of the fall. Don't miss a moment.
This is Coach Shiano. Keep chopping.
And join the fun on the Rutgers Boardwalk. Free rides, games, entertainment, parades, and more, all before every home game. It's all free family fun at the Rutgers Boardwalk. Visit us online at scarletknights.com. Don't miss a moment. See Coach Shiano and the Rutgers football team all fall long at SHI Stadium.
Okay, listen up, everybody. This is really special. The Elevate team sent me some complimentary cases of their hydrogen-infused super water, and I've been drinking it now nonstop for a few weeks. The water is backed by science, and it's actually been helping me with my aches and pains, energy, endurance, recovery, sleep, and so much more. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you got to give it a try to believe it. Go to drinkelevate.com, put in my code word Boomer, and get a complimentary 12-pack. Shipping's on us. Order now before this ends, and trust me, you will thank me later.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at terraorigin.com.
Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want with 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Drive into fall event.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. That means it's time for My Lowe's Rewards members to save big with up to 40% off hundreds of items like appliances, tools, home essentials, and more. Plus, get free standard shipping. Shop these exclusive member-only savings now through October 15th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. All right, instead of two uneducated meatheads talking about it and speculating about things, why not get the actual reporter on the horn? We welcome in Andy Martino of SNY. You can check out his columns on SNY.tv. Also see him on Baseball Night in New York. I know he'll be on the show tonight at 6 o'clock. I heard their host is excellent as well. But Andy, thank you for joining us. Let's start with the Mets change here, going with Kai Correa. My bigger issue is that I didn't think that this was a Mendoza choice. How did this come about, and how was Kai Correa selected for the Mets bench coach?
Is it a meathead thing to pull the hoodie up on top of the head like you guys? I could be here too if that's what we're doing today.
It's freezing in here. That's why we had the hoods up.
Yeah, what it is. I'm good. I'm good here with the hat. No, it wasn't. This wasn't something that was forced on Mendoza. From everything I heard, Sal, I understand the suspicion. I think, any coach who's 37 years old, you wonder, what's that about? Is that because he's moldable for a front office? That's where the mind goes. But I do know for a fact that Carlos Mendoza likes this guy, is on board with it. Obviously, the front office has to be on board with it too. And in this instance, he brings particular qualities that David Stearns made very clear in his post-mortem press conference a couple weeks ago that he was interested in, which is run prevention. Mike Sarbaugh was an excellent infield coach, but the Mets decided to move on there. And Kai Correa is a guy who's got a lot of experience coaching defenses, and that was a primary thing that appealed to them. And I'll say this too. I don't know the guy, so having no opinion of it out of the gate, as I was working last night on this and mostly the Yankees coaching changes stuff, which was more going on yesterday, and I will get to, I was just getting texts from people in the industry like, oh, by the way, Kai Correa is awesome. Oh, by the way, the Mets got better today. I even heard that he was on a short list at one point in the recent past of being a Mets manager candidate before Mendoza came on the scenes during one of their cycles. So this is somebody who has a good reputation in the business.
Yeah, he seems to have a good reputation, and the Mets absolutely have to catch the baseball better. They were just bad at that last year, so I think that that's wise, too, to try to tighten that up. And maybe I'm going to play the semantical game, Andy, but to me, there's a big difference between the Mets shoving Kai Correa down the throat of their manager. And if you're saying that's not the case, okay, I'll believe you. But I still need to know who first brought Correa's name up. Did Mendoza go to them and say, I like this guy? I would imagine they went to him and said, we like this guy.
I don't know the answer to that, BT, honestly, but...
That's an important question for me.
I don't think I would push back on that. I don't think it's as important a question. As long as Carlos Mendoza's there, he and David Stearns need to have a collaborative thing where it's like, ideally, leadership isn't top down like you're talking to this guy. It's a conversation, right? So that's what those two strive for. And I will say that even as the Mets leadership endured a very, very rough end of the season, Stearns and Mendoza remained in a good collaborative. And by collaborative, I don't mean code for Mendy's a puppet. I mean collaborative like they collaborate. There's two different ways to take that word in this business.
Yeah, that's true.
So I understand the question, and by process-wise, I don't know like the first moment that the name came up, but I know that you're looking for a coach, you're looking for quote-unquote run prevention. This is a guy in Correa whose name was going to be on the tip of anyone's tongue who was looking for those qualities. And like I said, I just know from talking to the relevant people yesterday that this wasn't forced on the manager.
Okay, so let me ask you this now, and maybe this will provide even more clarity or something else to talk about. When Mendoza assembled his first staff, was that all him?
I think that was my understanding, and I would want to double check this probably by Met sources, but since you're asking me here on the spot, my understanding is that was largely a staff that was filled out by the organization rather than by the manager. Jose Rosado, the bullpen coach, was a guy who was Mendoza's hire. I'm not sure how many others were directly his hires. He, again, with that collaboration piece, Carlos was involved and even ran interviews, but I know it was important. For example, the organization wanted to give him a manager who had, a bench coach who had manager experience. John Gibbons for the first 2 years. Jeremy Hefner was definitely like, this guy's good, we're keeping him.
Yep.
I believe Eric Chavez was under contract, had been the bench coach under Showalter. That didn't work out, so they said, how about hitting coach again? He inherited Barnes. So there was a lot of like, we've got some people we like and we're keeping them, but your buddy Rosado can go to be the bullpen coach. Probably some of that.
And this is more,
which by the way is common.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Is this common practice in Major League Baseball for the majority of teams now, where instead of the old days, hey, we're hiring Bobby Valentine, you pick your staff, Bobby, and I don't know that specific, I'm just using that as an example. Is this more normal practice with the majority of baseball teams where the front office has a say on the staff?
No doubt at all. I mean, it varies per staff, but even when Terry Francona, you can't come to a manager job with any more credibility than him. When he took the Reds job, I heard it was like, here's your coaches, Tito. So, yeah, that's the kind of how it works.
All right, so can you explain, we're talking with Andy Martino, SNY.TV for the columns. You can check him out on SNY TV, Baseball Night in New York later on at 6 o'clock tonight. What exactly is a director of hitting development?
It's a fancy title. That's what exactly it is.
Is he the hitting coach?
Is Jeff Albert going to be in uniform as the hitting coach?
Oh, yes. He's going to be in uniform with the Major League team, but they're going to hire hitting coaches under him, reporting to him as well. He's going to run, so he's been running the hitting for the Mets organization over the past couple of years. Billy Epler hired him from the Cardinals to do that a few years ago. So he's been with the Mets organization since then. And now he will be promoted to, the buck stops with him on the Mets hitting approach, and there will be guys in the cage working with hitters as this, whatever they want to call them, co-hitting coach, assistant hitting coach. That's all up to like how that shakes out. But yes, Jeff Albert will be in Major League uniform with the team as in that role.
Do any other teams have a director of Major League? Like, I've never heard of this before. Are the Mets inventing this?
I mean, there's so many different weird titles now. The Mets are actually on the old school end of this. You know, there's teams that have the associate manager, the assistant to the regional manager, all kinds of different weird titles. Some of this is to get people hired, right? Like if you're on one team's staff, you need to give them. You're not allowed to leave to make a lateral move. So sometimes they inflate a title just to get someone. So there's all that. Like the Texas Rangers under Bochy, I think had an associate manager. I could be wrong about that. So my point is, like, titles are getting weird. I don't recall off the top of my head. I haven't gone through every coaching staff list to see if they have this exact Jeff Albert title elsewhere. But the concept of trying to have some organizational cohesion, have a guy who developed players who's now running it at the major league level, that makes sense to me. Whether he's the right guy or not, we'll see. But you would want cohesion from the St. Lucie Mets to the New York Mets and how we approach hitting. Yes. Hopefully it's a good approach. Yeah. But the idea of cohesion up and down is good.
I would just want to make sure you said he's going to be in uniform, which means there'll be a more conventional hitting coach or co-hitting coach in uniform as well. And I know the Mets are aware of this clearly, but to have 2 or 3 people with the absolute 100% same exact hitting philosophy is probably not going to be the case. And if there's even a 5% variance, that could be a shade of gray that could get unnecessarily complicated for the hitters. Give me one guy.
You could also argue, BT, that diversity of opinion is important. I would be afraid if an organization, the Mets would have a problem if they wanted everyone to believe the exact same thing, in my opinion.
But let me ask you this, Andy. Andy, hold on. I hear you. I get that as a general concept, but and I know the game's very different. I get that. But for all these years, there was one general consensus on the approach for all these major league teams, and it worked for a lot of champions in I know this is a million years ago, 70s, 80s, 90s. So why do we need group thought now? What's the organizational philosophy? Swing it and hit it.
You mean for years, are you saying it was the same philosophy?
Yeah, like Walt Riniak and Charlie Lau and Lou Piniella. They didn't have 5 guys coordinating how to swing the bat.
So each team had one guy. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, part of that is that there's all this tech. So I think the Yankees had a really good mix last year. James Rowson and Pat Rossler were like real hitting guys, like approach guys. Aaron Judge, who's not much of a data guy, liked them. And then you had Casey Dykes, who an assistant hitting coach who's more into like the data and the numbers and stuff. On the pitching side last year with the Mets, it was Jeremy Hefner, the former big leaguer, and Desi Druschel, who knows grips and sciencey stuff. And so there are times when you can say, like, hey, these two skills complement each other.
Yes.
And I guess that's what teams are going for. And sometimes you just have to promote a guy to keep him. That's what's going on with the Yankees. I just reported last night, Jake Hurst is a guy who's been their hitting coordinator in the minor leagues. They're promoting him up to the big league staff in part because they got a request from another team to make him a major league hitting coach. And in order to keep him in the organization, they had to promote him. That's a common thing, too. So sometimes staffs can get crowded because of that exact reason.
I thought it was a little fishy. Let's just get to the Yankees here. I got some other stuff I want to circle back to the Mets, but you mentioned the Yankees. Yeah. It seemed a little fishy to me, the fact that they were delaying speaking to the media after the season ended. I know they'll be speaking tomorrow now, both Boone and Cashman. Then we saw some of the coaching changes or possible changes. Was there more to it than just, these guys are maybe going to get other opportunities, or was this a little bit of an intended shakeup on the Yankees staff?
No, they let go a couple of guys straight up. Mike Harkey and Travis Chapman, bullpen and first base coach.
And was that Boone's doing, or this is the organization, higher than Boone getting rid of these guys?
I would be surprised if Aaron Boone wanted Mike Harkey gone. They're pretty close. I'd be surprised. I'm not sitting here reporting exactly how that went down, but I'm just telling you, like, knowing the dynamics. Again, not uncommon. Aaron Boone's best friend is Phil Nevin, and Brian Cashman fired him a few years ago. This happens. So yeah, the Harkey thing was interesting because he's been with him for so long and is very well liked. But he and Chapman let go. Pat Rossler's talking to them, the hitting coach, talking to them about potential different roles in the organization. They like him. He's 65 years old. He might want to step into something a little bit less demanding. That's something they're trying to figure out. And they might lose Luis Rojas and James Rowson, the managerial opportunities. Yep. But I can tell you that if those guys don't get manager jobs, we're done talking about changes in the Yankees staff. Osmus and the rest of the Matt Blake and all those guys will come back if they want to.
Do you anticipate a feisty, combative Cashman tomorrow?
That's always so hard to say. I hope so. It's fun when he's dropping F-bombs and all that. I like that stuff. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Sometimes he goes into filibuster mode where it's like, I'm going to go monotone. I'm going to bore you all to death for 60 minutes, and therefore you'll walk out of here exhausted. And that is a strategy that he employs at times, and you tip your cap to it in the media like, all right, you win, I'm bored.
Yep.
Get me out of here. But there's times when he, as you know, he gets a little feisty. We will see which side of the bed he wakes up on tomorrow. I'm hoping the grumpy side.
So do we. Now, he was feisty with Sherman, as they were sparring a year ago with Volpe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's face it. He's got to come clean and, either admit that he's wrong, which he probably won't, or at least give us a plan that he's going to have to earn the job next year. Like, that's the thing that has to happen with Volpe.
I agree. It's the Yankees need to really have an honest conversation about shortstop and not just keep going, taking the path of least resistance and keep going with Volpe. Unfortunately, they're going to have to get creative with a trade that I can't quite see yet in order to replace it. Because Caballero's not a hitter. Caballero is perfect as that Swiss Army knife utility guy if you have a regular everyday shortstop. That's how you want to use Caballero, in my opinion. And just objectively, that's why Volpe kept starting during the postseason. Because Caballero was great in that other role. There are not a lot of great free agent options at shortstop. So again, they'd have to come up with a trade idea that I personally haven't come up with yet in order to replace Volpe for next year.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking about Andy Martino of SNY. Check him out. All the columns, SNY.TV. Check him out on Baseball Night in New York, 6 o'clock later on this evening. I have a couple more for you. We were talking about this before about scouting. Because all this stuff leads to analytics. It's not old school anymore. It's more analytics and data, and scouting has been minimized. Do you think, or do you know, if the Mets scout as much as the other teams in Major League Baseball since David Stearns has taken over?
Well, I know that the Yankees are given credit for being a particularly old school organization in this way, and it's helped them quite a bit over the past period of time, the success that they've had. The Mets they don't have as many pro scouts as the Yankees. They don't. There are teams like the Dodgers, the Rays. I'm trying to think of other examples of teams that are sort of modern but also blend a lot of pro scouting. And there are other teams like the Orioles, back the Astros under Jeff Luhnow, where David Stearns worked, that don't have as much of a pro scouting presence. And at the moment, the Mets are more targeted in their pro scouting and believe in a lot of numbers and video and things like that with some boots on the ground. But certainly the two teams that I cover, the Mets and the Yankees just have more of a head count with quote-unquote old school scouting.
I'm not even sure if you know the answer to this, but was that like a budgetary thing from the Wilpons and Steve never corrected it?
No, the Wilpons were a very strong scouting organization. Okay. Fred Wilpon believed very strongly in that. Omar Minaya is the GM.
That's true. That's true.
A big scouting guy. So, and even before that, like if you want to really go back, Joe McIlvaine under Frank Passion was a big scouting guy.
Joey Mack.
So
was good.
The Wilpon era Mets are huge on scouting.
Right, so that's more of a David Stearns thing, which is why I have an issue with it. And when you have as many moves as he had come up short this year, you have to question that and think that maybe a change would be in order of at least the thought process. Last one for me, Andy, and we appreciate your time. Who do you think's on a hotter seat going into next year, Boone or Mendy?
Oh, definitely. Unfortunately for Mendy, like if we're asking to compare the two, they just came off of that collapse. The Yankees were in the postseason. That's a totally different vibe going into the next season. And the cold, hard reality of this business is you look at contract length and where, like Boone's right now starting a new extension. So teams don't like to pay guys to go away, generally, unless there's a complete disaster happening. Mendoza's in the last year of guaranteed control over his contract. So for those reasons alone, and I think Carlos is a very good manager, but for those reasons, of those two, it's got to be Carlos.
You know, Andy, I thought that I was done with talking to Andy Martino, SNY, BT and Sound on the Fan. But I have to get into this, and I don't know where it's going to go. So I do think, and I've said this for a while, there's going to be a lot of non-baseball nights in 2027. We're getting a stoppage, all right? As you know, I know you know this as well as anybody. How will that impact the motivation, either favorably or less than that, to spend extra money this year and go for it, whether it's the Yankees finally doing something in Judge's prime and winning, or same with Lindor for the Mets? Like, will that impact the Mets and the Yankees this offseason?
That's a great question. I want to dig into that a little bit more with my sources on the two teams. I will say that the financial terms in which Steve Cohen came into this business, where he had this dramatic financial advantage, could be ending. So he's a smart guy, and he's got to be cognizant of that in some way, shape, or form. But what they also have to be careful of is, what if there is some kind of salary cap and floor after 27? What's the situation? Like, if you're already committed to way over that, are you going to be grandfathered in with some higher payroll? Is it going to be gradual, this cap and floor? These are all questions that are unknowns that they have to ask you. Like, if you spend $1 gazillion this winter, and then you get to 2028 and there's a cap, are you in trouble with that?
Well, you have to. I think you nailed it. You'd have to be grandfathered, and don't. This is just a guess, but a fairly educated one. Don't you think that it's more about raising the floor rather than capping the ceiling for baseball?
I think that if the owners tried to do either, the players would walk for a year or two. So I'm terrified that that's going to happen. They're never going to. The entire Players Association's existence is based on resisting the cap from the 60s. And they regard the floor as part of a cap system. So, and the owners are like, no, we got to do something about this. This is our time. So that's why I'm really scared that I'm going to be, I don't know what, digging ditches in 2027, because the thing that I get paid to talk about, it feels a little dicey right now.
We should be doing multiple rounds of Guess Who on Baseball Night in New York. All the different games that we play.
I don't know. Baseball Night in New York. I don't know what it'll be called. Something else night in New York.
I lied. I have one more quickie for you. Do you think off of this, there's no other way to put it, embarrassing year for the New York Mets, Steve Cohen gets, I don't want to say angry, because sometimes that doesn't lead to the best decisions, but Steve Cohen going to go big this offseason?
I think he's going to try to go smart. I don't see what the bigger thing is than Soto, right? Like, what's out there that's big compared to what he's already done? That's one of the reasons why it's so disappointing for that organization that this year went the way it did. I think he's going to do his best to just continue to be rational and try to build a great organization like the Dodgers have, and not be reactive. But I think if going big means bringing in an ace pitcher via trade, that could be an interesting place to look.
I just want to get your opinion on this, what I believe to be a budgeting hit song on the way. I don't know if you heard this, but check this out before we go here. Go ahead, hit that for him.
Hey, let's do it again.
It's a cast of idiots.
Ahora nos dicen los Kila, los número uno en la liga. Nadie está matando a los Yankees como lo está haciendo este liga. Yankee lose, Yankee lose, Yankee lose, Yankee lose.
I know you're a music aficionado, big Beatles fan. I think that's a hit. I have the ability to detect hits when I hear it, I think, but I'd be curious to get your opinion. Andy, what do you think of that?
Can I give you the biggest bummer of all time? You need to talk to your tech ops people, because that was silence for me on Zoom here.
Oh, I love it.
Well, now I want to go.
I considered during that period of just completely performing and playing it off and be like, oh yeah, it was great. But I'm not that good an actor.
Now I want to go on strike. All right, Andy, thank you for the call. We appreciate your time. We'll see you later on tonight on SNY at 6 p.m.
Good stuff, man.
Always fun, guys.
Yeah, Andy's got the info, so help us out a little bit with certain things. Look, the coaching staff, we know it's not a huge deal, but you did get some insight into how these decisions are being made, and then you could determine for yourself if you think that that's the right way or the wrong way. All right, we'll take a quick break here. We'll get you updated with Bogusch. Come back with your calls, 888-808-1019. Here's Andrew Bogusch.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1:05. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Flushing Bank. The struggling Jets might not be at full strength for Sunday's visit from the Panthers. Garrett Wilson and Josh Reynolds not practicing today. It's Wilson's knee, Reynolds' hip. Aaron Glenn saying this is just about today for now with Wilson. It's too soon to discuss him playing on Sunday. Meanwhile, the head coach
He's not playing.
Again saying that he wants Breece Hall on this team. The trade rumors are just rumors. Darius Slayton's hamstring is getting better, but Brian Dable wasn't sure if Slayton would practice today when he spoke to reporters last hour. The left shoulder that has been an issue since May for Anthony Volpe was a torn labrum and required surgery yesterday. That according to the Post. Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman should have further details in their wrap-up press conference tomorrow. Meanwhile, Max Fried, Ryan McMahon, David Peterson, and Luis Torrens, all Gold Glove finalists. Fan weather is sponsored by Approved Oil. Visit freezerate.com. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York for over 90 years. With today's low rates, now is the time to lock in for this upcoming winter before the cold weather drives prices up. Lock in a low rate and enjoy worry-free winter with Approved Oil. Visit freezerate.com. It's 64 degrees and partly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
He fell down as he pulled away. Hits the net.
The division-leading Steelers take on the Bengals in an AFC North battle. 8:15 tomorrow night. Thursday Night Football is on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on one. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Football season is Modelo season. If you're listening to this, it means you live and breathe Giants football. And you know what that makes you? A full-time fan, which means you deserve a Modelo. Reward your fandom with an ice-cold Modelo, an official cerveza of the New York Giants. Please drink responsibly. Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Hey, shh.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
This city lives and breathes sports. WFAN is where Yankees fans argue with Mets fans and Giants fans debate Jets fans. Live, loud, and daily. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey.
The BT and Sal Show on The Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Football Giants. This is going to be a huge week. I'm looking forward to breaking down these games. Well, I shouldn't say these games. That game, the Giants and the Broncos. And my gut feel on it, while I'm still a little, I'm hesitant to go all in picking against the Giants because Jaxson Dart, and I know how dangerous he could be. I just think this is a bad matchup here, and kind of an awakening or a rude awakening maybe for Dart. And not that he's been perfect so far, losing the game to the Saints obviously in the second game that he started, but this is just a different animal, this Denver Broncos team. But I can't wait to watch this football game 4:00 on Sunday.
Me too. I think that, listen, of course, Giants fans, you want to win this game. I think it's going to be tough as well. I'm kind of with you there. I think that the ultimate growth period comes, though, and this is where the defense is going to have to do their job. You keep this a 4-quarter game, which I think they will. I don't think the Giants get blown out. I'd be very surprised if they did, and disappointed. So I don't think they will. But even if you lose and it's a competitive game and the defense keeps them around, then even if Dart doesn't play very well, the more he plays on the road against good coaches, against elite defense, it's going to accelerate his growth. So big picture, it's all good for him.
Well, that's the thing. You got to remember where we are, and I do think that there's this feel, and we talked about it yesterday, where the NFC East, maybe the gap is closed there. Hey, if things go the right way, could the Giants contend legitimately for a wild card spot? I'm not willing to go there, but I could understand the conversation. I do think, though, because of the way they handled the Eagles, that it's either an underestimation of Denver or an overinflation of what the Giants currently are, while we are still in the midst of a learning process. Like the Broncos have the advantage at home, which is a great home field advantage there in Denver. They have the advantage with the best defense in the NFL, and probably some of the metrics will tell you that as well. Pass rusher, all those different things, that they have best cornerback in Patrick Surtain, so they have the best defense. They have one of the best head coaches in the entire league. Like, even if you love Dable and love Dart combination, Sean Payton is an elite level head coach, and Bo Nix had success as a rookie last year and is in year 2. Oh, by the way, they also have weapons running the football, throwing the football too. So Denver is loaded, and I really do believe as good as anybody in the NFL. Doesn't mean the Giants can't win. I just think that this might actually be their toughest task. We talked about the next 2 games in a row because they'll play in Philly after this one. This might be the singular most difficult game I think that the Giants will have this year.
Well, I look at it this way too. I think that there's a lot of teams every year in the NFL, a team that, 7, 8, 9-point dogs, no real chance to win, show up as the superior team, mop the floor with whatever is waiting for you because they're not ready. But even teams like that, they still occasionally clip a really good team. Giants have beaten 2.
Yeah, I know.
It's not just coming off the last game. It's also Harbaugh's team, which is going to be a playoff team, which has a good quarterback. So, to where exactly are they? I don't know, but it's not like they beat the Jets and the Browns, or even the Browns and one good team. They've beaten 2 really good teams.
Okay, well, that's the point. And when we talked about this game on Tuesday, or was it yesterday? I don't even remember this. Well, yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah, I'm lost, obviously. But when we talked about this game, that was in part of what I was saying was where I believe Denver's going to win. However, if the Giants do win this game, now I think anything's possible. Now they are for real back in play, and the only negative would be that they're trying to dig out of a 2-4 start. Obviously, if they win, it's 3-4, but still there's work to be done. Like there's less margin for error when you've already in the first 6 weeks had 4 losses, so it's hard to dig out of that. But if they beat Denver this week, I believe anything is possible for the Giants this year.
Let me throw something wacky at you.
Yeah.
Playing to what you just said here. So we talked a little bit yesterday, Brees Hall, free me. All right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to free you. We're going to free you from a bad team. And then
I didn't see Glenn address that. He just said that the trade speculation was just that, rumors.
Okay, I think they're going to trade him because there's no way they're giving him big money, and he seems disgruntled, and you can keep it moving. I don't need you to stay here. But if you're the Giants, now, if you lose this game, you probably don't even pick up the phone. If they were to win this game, and we all love Skattebo. We love him. He runs a 4.6, 4.7, 40. He's more tough than dynamic. Why not call the Jets up and say, what would it take to get Brees Hall in the other locker room here at MetLife? Well, they made a trade back in the day with Leonard Williams.
But why would they want Brees Hall?
Because you don't have Malik Neighbors, and you've got to get some explosion there.
Yeah, but why not just have get a receiver?
I'm not saying that you don't, but
I don't think the Giants need Brees Hall. I mean,
no, but what I'm saying is you would then use him differently than he's being used now. Part of the problem, and I do understand why Brees is a little bothered by this, they don't throw him the ball, and he's actually pretty good catching the ball. I haven't seen one go route out of the backfield, which is maddening, but that's my problem as a Jet fan, whatever. But from a Giants perspective, if you think that you can use him a little different, you've got the bowling ball in Skattebo, you've got the scat back who flies in whole. If Neighbors is on the team, I'm not even saying this, and I don't think it would happen, but it's not like there's never been a trade between these two teams. Now, different GMs, different circumstances, but Leonard Williams was traded from the Jets to the Giants, so there's some fairly recent history there. And if the Giants would give up a 4th rounder and nobody else will, if you're the Jets, why wouldn't you do it?
I think regardless of the result this weekend in Denver, the Giants should be looking to upgrade, even if just that it's to help along Jaxson Dart here.
Yeah, you mean independent of a playoff run.
Correct.
I agree with that.
Just get, if you could get a receiver, it doesn't have to be the best guy. It's not just about trying to win games now and make a playoff run. You're trying to put Jaxson Dart in the best spot to succeed. Why not give him another weapon? And by the way, it could lead to winning more games, which could get you in the playoff picture anyway. Aaron is calling from Sleepy Hollow. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
You guys are in the business of opinions and takes. And I just want to congratulate Sal for saying that Cal Raleigh is the most valuable player, because everyone here in New York's like, no, it's Aaron Judge, but valuable. That's the word we're talking about here,
Well, I mean, it's going to be voted on. We'll find out in November. I mean, if I had a vote, Aaron, and I'm guessing you the same thing, it would go to Cal Raleigh. Now, people hear that, especially Yankee fans, and they think it's a knock on Aaron Judge. So I always preface it by saying Aaron Judge had the best season. He is the best player. You could say that every year. Maybe there should be 2 different awards. Most valuable to me, if you take Cal Raleigh off the Mariners, they are not doing anywhere near what they have done this year. It has nothing to do with the postseason, obviously. Got to be voted on in the regular season.
Yep.
But for a catcher to do what Cal Raleigh did and elevate the Mariners to do something they haven't done in 20-something years, that to me is worthy of most valuable player, even though Judge's numbers are just absurd.
Just curious before I make a point here. So if he's first base, I think I know what you're going to say. If he's a first baseman, who wins the award?
Yeah.
A little different?
I mean, I think it's the combo of doing it with that team and doing it at the position he did it for.
Oh, that's what I thought you would
and 60
say.
home runs is 60 home runs.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. For a catcher, it's what? But for anybody to hit 60 home runs, it's...
Okay, now those are 2 things I don't factor in, like the inability for the Mariners to win a World Series or whatever, be as good as they are, whatever they've done this year. What? It's been a while, 20
So I think it's 25 years since they won the division.
Yes.
I believe that was the case.
It is 20, and now they've been a playoff team, but that's... it's not the Yankees or the Dodgers or anybody. It's not their problem that Seattle couldn't build the team better. So I don't give them points there. Where I do give them some points, and I changed my opinion. Remember this?
Yeah.
Where, once he got to 60, the symbolism of 60 as a catcher, not even like the wear and tear, and I've got to give him more points because he's crouching, 120 times a night, whatever it might be. I don't factor that in. Now, when this first came up and he was at 57 or 58, I said Judge, and I said Judge with no hesitation. And then I very quickly flipped and said, It's Rolly when he got to 60. The more numbers I study, I almost feel like I should and might and want to go back to Judge. But my real honest opinion is both guys are incredibly deserving. I honestly feel that way.
But think about it this way. It's most valuable. Like all those years, A-Rod was the best player in the world.
With Texas when they were bad.
To me, he was not the most valuable because they were finishing in last place. So how valuable can he be if you take him on? I'm not trying to knock A-Rod.
But he won the awards.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
So I'm kind of with you.
But I had an issue with that.
Yeah.
How can he be the most valuable player if he's on the last place team?
Yeah.
Now, it's not his fault.
You'd be last place without him.
Correct. So how can he be valuable? You take him off the team that can finish last. So not A-Rod's fault, just like it's not Judge's fault. But this year, like this to me, Cal Raleigh's having an all-time great season. It is a special season. These are the seasons that to me are MVP worthy. Now, Judge is being unfairly penalized by the fact that he's so great and it's kind of routine brilliance.
Well,
and
like voter fatigue?
Well, not even voter fatigue, just that like we take it for granted. And because it hasn't happened with a Mariner or 60 home runs from somebody else and a team that has been elevated by that singular season, without that type of season, the Mariners aren't doing what they've done. That to me is the most valuable. You take that season away, Mariners are trash. You take Judge's season away, I still think the Yankees are probably a playoff team.
I think the Yankees without Aaron Judge would be utterly unwatchable. I mean, you took Soto off the team and you didn't get back to the World Series. You want to take Judge off the team too?
I mean, but Judge has been banged up for years before where the Yankees still made the postseason.
Well, the year that he ran into the wall in Dodger Stadium, they didn't make the playoffs, and he would have won the MVP that year, I think. I don't think that Judge has been penalized yet because what I see on and again, who knows what this really represents. It's similar to Hall of Fame ballots. I feel like most people who have a vote are leaning toward Judge. You do get the sentiments from former players, catcher, more arduous position, maybe a little bit of the Seattle, the franchise or whatever that, you're describing. I do think it's a flip of a coin. If Raleigh wins, I'm not going to go nuts. I do think now, independent what I would do, I do think Judge is going to actually win. I'm not even saying that's 100% right. But the thing that gives me a little boost here for Judge is that, there were 7 guys who hit 300 this year. He didn't hit 305. He didn't hit 310. The man is 6'8" with 60 bombs, and he hit 332.
Okay, just simplify it.
That is just ridiculous. What Raleigh hit, 260?
Whatever.
You're talking
just
7
simplify
points.
It. Who do you think was more valuable to their team? Judge to the Yankees or Raleigh to the Mariners? And then whatever your answer would be, that should be your vote. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it's that simple for me because where we fundamentally disagree, and we just hit this, if you take Judge off the Yankees, I don't think they're a playoff team. You do. So even my answer still wouldn't play with the way you view it. I think they're both non-playoff teams. I really do, without either player.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll finish up with your calls on the other side. Well, not finish up. It's 23. I'm wishful thinking. Getting to that nap here. 888-808-1019. More of your calls when we come back.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books for the BetMGM Network. We're on the Mariners on the money line tonight in Game 3 of the ALCS. Series coming back to Seattle, and we're expecting the crowd to play a massive factor here. Seattle will be jumping. George Kirby pitching for the Mariners. Has a 2.70 ERA in 2 games of the postseason. Shane Bieber goes for Toronto. Only seen in 2 2/3 innings of action, and he got roughed up. He gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. So take Seattle on the money line. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking man.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Sunday no longer a fun day?
We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain. We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
All the way over Barzell, score!
New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal, and I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair tire, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. Tell Siri to dial the Fan. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Kids out back on The Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Let's get back to the phones. BT, we talked a little football before with the Giants. You can get into that if you'd like. Obviously, the Mets and Yankees, the coaching staff stuff. And we will. You were just telling me we were all allowed to carry that. I mean, assume that we were, being the home of the Yankees. But tomorrow we'll have Booney speaking live, addressing the media at year's end after the season is over, obviously, at noon. And then Cashman will follow him whenever that is.
Yeah, and we'll lay out again what we want to hear, what we expect to hear. And then what I love doing is always reacting to what they actually actually say. So tomorrow's going to be a big Yankee day.
We should
question.
also, you and I should have like some bets over under how long Boone goes, over under how long Cashman goes, maybe some keywords that we hear in there.
Like references, stuff like that.
How many times Boone says lanes? How many times? Well, no, I mean, come on.
Give the guy a break with this.
You might as well make it under. Hey, why don't we do a BT and Sal bingo? Everybody does a bingo. Well, I mean, might as well make it a little more entertaining and fun, no? We could come up with that. Hoff, we'll think on that. Maybe come up with a little BT and Sal bingo when we listen to Booney and Cashman address us all tomorrow at the year-end press conference. Matthew is calling from Union. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Good.
Hey,
Thanks for taking my call.
Got it.
Good. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion, and I'm drawing some parallels between the Cowboys organization and the Yankees organization. It's probably because I'm too close to them, but I want to see what you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been a lifelong fan of both franchises. You know, they always obviously have a good team during the year. They always make the playoffs. Great regular season. Both teams print money. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, we didn't reach our ultimate goal, which, you know, for the fans is Super Bowl or World Series. So it ends up becoming a disappointment, but they crush it. They still make their money. So it's like, do they really care that they didn't get there? You know, do the fans care more or whatever? But, you know, you become a little numb to that. And then, you know, you got Jones, you know, complete refusal to to relinquish any control. And this isn't really primarily about the Cowboys. This is going to end the Yankee question. But, you know, and it's weird. Today's his 83rd birthday. Last time he won a Super Bowl he was 53, which is crazy.
God, that is insane.
Yeah, I thought when I did the math, which is easy math, but I didn't actually do it at first. I said, wow, 53. Who would have thought when he was 53, I'm not going to see this again for another 30 years. But anyway.
If you're lucky, 30 years.
Exactly. Exactly. So, you know, not necessarily Cashman. Listen, the guy does his job. I think year in and year out, he has a job to do in the offseason. He has a job to do at the trade deadline. I think he does a good job at it. Then you have Steinbrenner, who I don't believe controls personnel or tries to really hold on to what the roster's doing personnel like Jerry Jones does on the football side.
Agreed.
But he does have this analytics department, right? And so what do they actually do? Did they give him a game report, this department of nerds, and say, listen, this is your report, you're going to go off of it? Or do they say, hey, Aaron, this is your report, but go coach? You know, and that's like that. We'll never probably know the answer.
No, we do. We know enough of the answer.
Looks like
I'm going to give you an answer.
Well,
I'm going to give you the answer that everybody's heard and everybody's tired of, and not enough people want to really believe. But it's the answer. It's collaborative.
Yeah.
I mean, what did we hear? But where Boone writes out one lineup, Osmus writes out another, and then they come up with the one from the numbers people, and then there's obviously some exchanges there, and. You know, who's going to ultimately win out? I would think that it would be more Boone over some geek. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a bunch of people weighing in.
Right, but generally the DON rules out.
The DON?
Yes.
The Depot. This is some acronym for you. What are you making fun of? The Department of Nerds?
Yes.
There we go.
We have stumbled across some greatness here from our caller. I remember this happened on the overnights years ago. Somebody brought it up like, all Boone does is apply the data. And I went... Data applicator. And now who was that, Hoff? John comes up with the Department of Nerds, the DON. That's what we have running baseball. It's the DON. The Department of Nerds rule out. And Boone himself might be one of those guys. Like we talked about it with Susan. That's where people fail to acknowledge that it's not the DON telling Boone what to do. Boone is a part of the DON. And he should be better because he's a baseball lifer. Boone should be better than being a part of the Department of Nerds, but he's a part of that.
That's a really important part here because I think some people make it seem like they think that poor Aaron's held hostage and, these geeks and these nerds roll in. All right, we're going to stuff these numbers down your throat. This guy's sitting here. This guy's playing there. This guy's sitting lefty, righty, reverse splits. You're doing this. No. If you listen, and by the way, Susan was phenomenal.
Yes.
And we had her on last week, as Sal just mentioned, if you guys missed it.
She is really the best.
We love her. She's on, if you want to see it, it's on WFAN YouTube page. If you want to hear it, free Odyssey app, go back, check it out. As the case with all of our shows here and all the shows, and certainly Sal and I. But she did say that if you go, and she's right, I remember this, when you go back to Aaron in the booth with ESPN, he was very numbers-oriented, very forward-thinking in terms of the analytical aspect of the game, kind of like David Cohn. If you think about how easy it is, Sal, to determine the difference between how David Cohn embraces the numbers versus somebody like Keith Hernandez in the Mets booth.
Right.
Keith is just responding to what he sees, where Coney gives you a good balance, and that's much more Boone. So he's not being held hostage by a bunch of nerds.
Would you hire Coney as a pitching coach if you're the Mets?
I would hire David Cohn as my general manager if it was for the Yankees or the Mets. I think he's a perfect balance.
Yeah, it seems like Cohn does want to get back in uniform. And I was thinking about it, pitching job open for the Mets, pitching coach job open for the Mets, and pitching job, but coaching job open for the Mets. Maybe, I don't know that that's going to be the case. I'm just throwing that out there myself. And I've thought about that for years with Coney. Where would he go? But there is an opening now with the Mets. He is in New York. They are analytical. Mm-hmm. He'd probably be a dream type guy.
I think he'd be great at it, and I think he's also very relatable. Good people, like Stottlemyre, people skills. So it wouldn't be, talk. He can connect. So I think that David Cohn could, quite frankly, be great at anything in baseball.
And one thing that he would never be a part of is the DON. Because while Coney applies the analytics, there's no way anybody would consider David Cohn a nerd. Like he's a baseball.
No. He might be a savant, but he's not
correct.
He's not held captive by people who don't know anything about a jockstrap.
But that's what you want. Ideally, is the balance, and he's got that.
He does. I'm a massive Coney fan. You know that. The only problem with the question that you asked me directly about a pitching coach, so. Yeah, I don't know what he makes it, yes. And he's also got other national gigs. So he's making good loot, good bank doing TV, right? Now, I don't even know what the pitching coach now, maybe you give him a little bit more because it's David Cohn. I think he can make similar amount of money working less and doing TV.
Really?
I do. Yeah, I don't think you're not getting millions of dollars to be the Mets pitching coach. There's no way.
It's also what you really want to do.
Well, that's true, too. Now Cohen and Hal, they have the money to do that and jack it up. If they wanted to, I would guess, Hefner, maybe $500,000. Somewhere in the neighborhood. And I would think that Coney is around there for his multiple TV jobs and other platforms.
Hefner might have been more because he was here so long.
It could have been. Maybe six change. Maybe I don't think he's much more than that. I think that David Cohn would be better as a manager or not better. That's wrong. Because I think he'd be good as a pitching coach as well. I think it would be more in line of willingly leaving TV for a GM or a managerial position.
Corey is calling from Massapequa Park about some football. What's up, Corey?
Hey, what's up, boys? How you doing?
Good.
2 points. BT, earlier you mentioned the Breece Hall potential with the Giants. I wouldn't touch it. I don't think you want to mess with that locker room right now. The one thing I think the Giants have done pretty good in my lifetime is being a Giants fan for about 20 years.
Yep.
I feel like they draft running backs well. I think it's like the one area we don't really need. So that was just my quick comment on that. But regarding the G-Men overall, I feel like I've heard a lot of talk about, winning these next couple games. And I don't normally say this, but I feel like how we play the next couple games is more important than if we win or lose. Listen, I want to go on a run this season. I really think about the bigger picture. I think about next year. I wouldn't mind Jaxson Dart having some adversity that he has to overcome. Maybe he has that 3-pick game where, he has to respond, or maybe a big drive in the fourth. So, yes, I would love for the G-Men to keep winning here and stack some wins together. But for me right now, I think it's how they play will really set the tone for the back end of the year into next year.
Corey, I think that you should be a model for how every Giant fan processes the rest of the year. I think it's a fantastic balance of being realistic, of being excited, and also being very much in tune with the bigger picture. I think you nailed it.
Smart. Very well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. You're right. This is going to be a huge game. But even if they lose, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, to Corey's point right there, we know that. There's going to be learning curves and bumps in the road, whatever it may be. But they do have a chance to win the game. I'm considering Denver in my knockout pool, but a part of me is I ain't picking against Jaxson Dart, man. I believe Denver's going to win the game. This fits my formula, all that stuff. I fully believe that. But that dude's scary.
They got a little magic going on.
I ain't picking against him. And I think it's more than just the magic. Yes, I know what you're saying, the mojo, the vibe, all that stuff. But this dude's legit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that type of player, anything is possible. And to me, this is going to be the final test, at least in this regular season, that I need to see. If he could go on the road 4 weeks into being a starter against the best defense in the league and beat that team, then I am not saying I would. You could call up and say there's no way they win the division. I would not fight that. I would say that I think that there's a chance that they can win the division. Anything would be possible to me if Jackson Dart and the Giants could find a way to beat Denver in Denver.
And even if they don't, we're in the earliest stages of watching one of the next New York superstars. He's it.
Assuming he can stay healthy.
He stays healthy.
BT and Sal, and it's a big assumption with the way that he plays. BT and Sal on the Fan will finish up on the phones when we come back. 888-808-1019. I also have that little piece of news that I had to tell you before. Some good news that I got. A nice email. We could get to that on the other side as well.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sportsman sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. Typically in postseason baseball, you need a strong bullpen to advance. But so far in the NLCS, the Dodgers are all about the starters. Blake Snell and Yoshinobu Yamamoto have given up just 1 run in 17 combined innings. LA has a 2-0 lead, and now they turn to Tyler Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani. All season, the rotation was a question mark because of injuries. Now that they're healthy, the Dodgers will be tough to beat. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No! Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Hodge from TakingVegas.com, and each and every day you can text the word WIN to the number 545454. Again, text the word WIN to the number 545454 and get our best bet of the night every single night for free. You can also visit TakingVegas.com. 10 great handicappers there, but tonight we have a free best bet. It's yours. Text the word WIN to the number 545455.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. From Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2025 Volvo XC60 B5 Plus all-wheel drive, $497 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $55,540. VIN S1015920. Loaner vehicle 5,193 miles, $3,700 down payment, tax title registration extra, 0 security deposit, ends 10/31/25.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's Cross Climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin Cross Climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Wellness isn't just what you do, it's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painter's Trust kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps. Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on the Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. John is calling from St. Louis. What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Hey, good morning, guys. Before I get to the Correa point, I think the Mets already have their manager in waiting if they fire Mendoza. And I think it's Carlos Beltran. And I think he would be the mix of the old school, but also he's connected with that front office and would listen to their input. So I think he's already on the staff.
Maybe.
But this Correa guy, I've just taken one look at him. I already know he's going to be an asset. With those satellite dishes coming out of the sides of his head, we're going to be able to hear the other team's pitch count, and he can relay that to the batter.
Well, I haven't seen what has he got? Big ears? You're making fun of his ears?
Does he really? Come on, man.
I mean, come on. Come on, that's not nice, John. Thanks for the call.
I was actually reading something. I shouldn't laugh.
He said that satellite dishes.
So he's.
That's not nice.
That's not nice, but it's funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but come on.
Shouldn't say it, but it was a good.
Yeah, not very nice. All right, couple things here, BT. Number one, I saw this from Field Yates, who tweeted this out. Yeah, okay. The Giants have restructured the contracts of Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland, creating just over $4.8 million in cap space for 2025.
For 2025?
Yeah, that would
they're going to make a move.
Well, right. That would indicate to me that they're working on something, trying to get themselves a wide receiver. And again, I don't know if it's just season on or whatever it may be, or just trying to help Jaxson Dart, whichever way that you possibly can. All right, the other thing, real quick, before we get back to the calls here. So I got this email from. Check this out. Remember how I lost out on the Emmy? Then I was bothered about losing the Emmy? Well, one door closes, another one opens. The New York Pro Scouts dinner. Hot Stove Association Award, blah, 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 blah. I am delighted to inform you that you have been selected to receive the Dick Young Memorial Award from our organization in recognition of your meritorious service to our national pastime in the area of communications. We look forward to seeing you and other distinguished baseball personalities whom we are honoring. Respectfully yours, Billy Blitzer, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with Billy Blitzer.
Never heard of him.
He's a longtime scout with the Cubs from Brooklyn. He
really?
even said, I talked to him a little bit. Yeah. He said that he probably watched you play. He's like, oh, BT, I know he said he played.
And then he kept walking. He didn't file any reports when he watched me play.
I was like, Billy, please, if you could dig up a scouting report on BT, let me know about that. But
really?
How about that? The Dick Young Award from the Scouts. And you know me, I love these Scouts.
One thing I'm also learning about you. You like taking some of these victory laps, man. Oh, I didn't win the Emmy. I might. I won this award. Oh, I'm on a TV show. Egos get a little big, buddy.
It's been a pretty good week. I mean, I got some thing last night done at 5:45 in the morning, whatever you may say. But this to me, like, screw the Emmy.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honored, I want to be honored by the baseball scouts, people that know what they're talking about. honoring one of their own, somebody who knows what he's talking about as it pertains to baseball.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a few for you.
And I'm going to this, by the way.
You have to
100%
go to this.
will be there.
So the baseball scouts, now what happens when there's no more scouts? Does this award go away?
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be all analytically driven.
I don't. Well,
Is this still going to be an award?
I guess it's. I mean, maybe the crowd is probably a little thinner there. Who knows with it? But I guess they give all the awards. They said like they had future player of the year, whatever. Ben Rice did it a couple years ago.
This is going to be a big thing.
I think so.
Where is it?
It's on Long Island.
Oh, it's out east, huh?
Leonard's.
Perfect for Mama. Mama will be out there for you. Your mom will be out there.
You want to come?
When is it? I was going to ask you that. Is
Friday
it a weekend?
Night. I do. He was telling me like, if you have friends or family that want to go, it's a Friday night. It's supposed to be at a great place. I've never been there.
Is it Fox Hollow? I know some spots out there.
No. Leonard's.
Oh, you said Leonard's.
Yeah,
I'm
Leonard's
sorry.
of Great Neck.
I don't know that. Is it the kind of thing where
we could go hang out?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know as Emmys. I know as Emmys, you get your own table. Like SNY has a table. MSG. Can we get a BT and Sal table?
Maybe. He said that, like they'll give me 2 tickets, me and my wife or whatever. I was like, I need my mom to go. Yeah.
Oh,
my mom's got to be there for this one. I mean, I've never even won a Play of the Month when I was at King Kong at Home Depot. Dick Young Award for being members of the media. I was like, you sure you got the right number
Dick
here?
Young got Tom Seaver traded. I mean, his history in this city is, wow, it's deep. It's pronounced there.
I'll take
That's a great
Billy
award,
Blitzer.
man.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
That's a good one.
So anyway, we could look into that, but that would be cool.
I would love to be there for that.
But more importantly, like even just like, he said great food and it's like a wedding type thing, but hanging out, talking with some of the former scouts.
Oh my God,
current
it's right
guys
up my
in the
alley.
game. Yeah.
Is it a tux? Is it a black tie? I told you I had a couple of questions.
That I don't know. I might not.
I might be if it's that kind of a venue.
Got to rent the tux.
That's all. Who's the MC? Who's going to actually deliver?
Ed Randall has been the MC for a long time.
Eddie Randall talking baseball on the Fan. Dude, that's a good thing. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate
Not really sure
that,
how you want it, but I'm happy for you.
Me neither. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Baseball Night in New York show. I would think.
That is fantastic, man. That's great. There you go. Good stuff. Congrats.
I was thinking the same thing. Ended on a high note. All right.
Hop, you happy for our boy?
Yeah. Hop
Look
will
how
be
proud
there.
he is.
I don't know if I'm going to go, but yes, I'm very happy for you.
He's proud. He was scarred by losing that Emmy, man. It hurt him.
That's why I brought this up. I wouldn't have brought it up. I would have celebrated in silence, maybe with my family. This was to the what this award means to me. This is to the Emmys. One door closes. You guys don't want me. I'm not good enough for you. Who votes for the Emmys anyway?
I don't know who votes for that.
I'm getting voted an award by the Scouts, baby. The Dick Young Media of the whatever Member of the Year award. That's me.
The people in the trenches, the real baseball people.
All right, let's get finish up here. Ray's on Staten Island. What's up, Ray?
Hey, what's up, guys? I want to just preface this by saying I think Aaron Judge should win the MVP award. He has the best overall stats. And ask you guys, when was the last MVP player that won that was actually the MVP? It's always the best overall stats. Just look at Mike Trout. Those 3 years he won it. His teams were in last place every year, and he won the MVP award. LeMahieu got robbed in 19 because he was more valuable to the Yankees than Trout was, and Trout won the MVP. Look at Lindor last year. Lindor was more valuable to the Mets than Ohtani was.
Right.
It's always the player with the best overall stats. That's why I think Judge is going to win it.
Fair enough, Ray.
He deserves it.
You might be right. And I'm not going to go nuts about Judge. I would have the same voting philosophy that I had in 2000 or whatever it was we talked about with A-Rod. I would have today. I would have it last year with Lindor. Like my principles would be most valuable player this year. So, but yeah, you're right. It's always going to go to the guy who has a better year. I wouldn't have done that, but that's what they do.
He asked us the question, who was the last one? I'm probably missing somebody, but I remember Terry Pendleton. Was it with the Braves or the Cardinals? I'll look it up. Terry won it. I think it was the Cardinals, but I might be off on that. Terry
87? I don't think he won an MVP with the Braves. That would be shocking.
I think that you're right. He won it. Yeah, he won it in 1987 with St. Louis.
Right.
Here were his numbers. Wow.
Terry Pendleton.
Dude. This might be the worst MVP season ever. His OPS was 772.
What was his batting average? 260?
286.
Okay.
But 286 and 87 was very different than 286 and 2025.
286 is like 260 now.
Maybe, yeah. I know what you mean. Maybe flip that. I think you mean it the other way.
Yes.
I know what you mean. I'm with you.
Like everybody was hitting for a higher average then, so 280 wasn't as good as it is now.
Exactly.
Is what I meant. Yeah.
12 home runs. Now, he had 96 RBIs. His WAR was 2.9. Now, just to tell you about Pendleton, and I don't get too wrapped up in the WAR, but he had other seasons, one of which was with Atlanta.
93?
91. His WAR was 6.1. He didn't win anything. His SWAR in 87 was 2.9. He won the MVP with an OPS of 772. That is gross.
What was the point of bringing up Pendleton?
Well, he asked, he said usually it's the player
I
with the best stats usually wins it. And I forgot the year, but I remember Pendleton won it back in the day, and he didn't do it. But then again, Tommy Herr, that may have been the year that Tommy had 100-plus RBIs as a 3-hitter with 9 or 10 home runs. So